service. Visit VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com. Groceries, mortgage payments, family holidays, a new car.
He's waiting for a new one facially, and he's back in the play. Oilers are back on the...
Each year,
Oilers are back in this 1-1 game. Nice cross-ice pass. Howard just got a new stick, and the Oilers just got the lead. Again, it's 2-1.
Union. When you're an owner, you get your share. Why not get yours? Learn how at whatsyourshare.ca. That's whatsyourshare.
September.
Big spot for Kevin Gosman. Stranding a runner at third and keeping this game tied.
Get 0% financing on Sierra light-duty crew cabs. If you're eyeing up an SUV, we have the completely redesigned GMC Terrain and our entire Buick family with incredible prices. And Costco members up to $1,200 additional off the price. Come see us, corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road. Wolf, GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Great news. Metal Supermarkets today brings out Tig, Mig, and Stick. Sounds like my old garage band with their kooky nicknames. Yeah, we were huge in Japan, but never really caught on here. Your loss, Edmonton. Metal Supermarkets, your local convenience stores for... And welding, Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
Stop juggling lowest bid contractors, because at Wetaskiwin Ready Mix, one call does it all. From concrete supply to cribbing and pumping, we've got your project covered. Locally owned and operated, Wetaskiwin Ready Mix is proud to deliver on spec and on time every time, because we know quality concrete isn't cheap, and cheap concrete isn't quality. Send Wetaskiwin Ready Mix your blueprint. We'll handle the rest. Wetaskiwin Ready Mix, 780-352-4301.
Get the lowdown with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. He's seen it all and then some. From stats to stories, he breaks it down like no one else. Proud to be Edmonton's sports leader. Sports 1440.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
I feel so close to you right now. It's a force field. I wear my heart up on my sleeve.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Oilers are back on the puck in this 1-1 game. Nugent Hopkins. Howard scored. Cross-ice pass. Howard just got a new stick, and the Oilers just got the lead. Again, it's 2-1.
On Sports 1440.
Touchdown today. Breeze on the fake. Big drop. Going deep again. Cooks open again.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
A big out in a big spot for Kevin Gosman. Stranding a runner at third and keeping this game tied.
It's just after 2 o'clock. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440. Sports sports1440.ca. Oilers Nation, Sports 1440, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you are having a lovely Wednesday afternoon. Happy hump day. It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at PlayAlberta.ca. I'm Jason Gregor. He is Connor Halley. We got Declan Cougar along as always this afternoon on another busy Wednesday. We are nearing the midway point of the preseason. Be excited, Oiler fans. Be excited as tonight will be game number 4. The Oilers are 2-0-1 in the preseason. They got a victory last night. Noah Philp was excellent in that game for the Oilers with 2 assists. He also had Ike Howard score a goal. Ty Emberson walking in from the blue line and ripping one home. I'm not sure that the goaltending would have loved those 2 goals, to be honest, from a Winnipeg standpoint. Quinn Hudson also scoring a goal for Edmonton as they get a win tonight. If you're going to the game, you will see the big names: McDavid, Drysdale, Bouchard, Ekholm. Mangiapane will play his first game, albeit preseason, with the Edmonton Oilers. David Tomasik's going to be playing on a line with him. Also, Trent Frederick will see his first game on a line with McDavid and Drysdale. So, yeah, it's preseason. I guarantee you that Frederick will have a little bit more pep in his step. It's a huge opportunity for Trent Frederick going with there's no better duo in the NHL. It's not close, but there is no better duo in the National Hockey League than McDavid and Drysdale offensively for anybody to play. So we will see where it happens from there for the Oilers, but we'll see. Who's going to be the net front presence tonight? We saw was Adam Henrique. As it gets closer now and you see a few more veterans in lineups, those are the things I'm looking for. We saw it was Adam Henrique on the net front presence in that game. Was there. Now, he was in front of the net on the Howard goal, so that'll be something to watch for. I'm going to guess that if I look at tonight's lineup for Edmonton, that you're going to see Trent Frederick as the net front presence. Now, Nugent Hopkins isn't dressed tonight, so I wonder if we see potentially David Tomasik as a right shot in Nugent Hopkins' slot on the power play. Or maybe it's going to be Mangiapane, just because they want to keep a lefty there. McDavid, Draisaitl, Bouchard are all together. So, excuse me. So they will be, it's not the full unit, and I'm not insinuating for a moment that Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is going to lose this spot on the power play. But David Tomasik does present a different option if at some point they want to use it. This organization hasn't had a right shot forward who likes to shoot the puck and has a good shot and a good one-time. Who was the last one that you can think? Like Alex Hemsky. Alex Hemsky wasn't a big one. Had a good shot, but that wasn't his game. Right? Now Jarrett Stoll, but he played the point. Remember that 1 year on the power play? He was firing bombs from the back end. But who is the last right shot shooter for the Oilers that was like a weapon on the power play? Can you think of one? Or even not even on the power play, just overall, Zach Hyman scores a lot of goals. Right? He leads the Oilers in 5-on-5 goals the last 3 years, but he is not a shooter from distance. I don't even know if Zach Hyman's ever one-timed the puck. So we'll see where it goes from there. But I'm kind of curious about it. You saw Howard. Now Howard, you saw his timer, got away quick, but he's on the right. That's where Draisaitl shoots from. Now he could be maybe on the second unit power play potentially, but you got to go back a while. I'm trying to think. Well, Mark Letestu had a pretty good shot. Now, he was a center, though, 5-on-5, but he had a pretty good shot on that power play. Was that 2017, 2018, Cons? I think that's when Mark Letestu was there, so I guess he would be one. But, if you look at Mark Letestu, did he score? I think he might have scored 15 goals with Edmonton because 5-on-5, we didn't see Letestu, fire it and rip it very often as a one-timer. He actually had 16 goals in 2017. I just looked it up. So I guess he would be the guy. Because when they went to the Cup final, you had Rafi Torres. He scored 27 goals, and he could shoot, but wasn't really a one-timer type of player. Because it's hard. Like McDavid doesn't really one-time. Like he can do it, but Nugent Hopkins and McDavid aren't looked upon as one-timer threats. Drysdale, he can one-time the puck. Like Yari Curry, obviously the greatest right shot one-timer in Oilers history, one of the greatest in the NHL history. But if you look at it overall, there's not a lot of cons. And so that to me is intriguing from David Tomasek to see potentially what he can do. Obviously got to be able to play lots of other parts in the game, but it is something for me to watch for. Now they've had guys that can shoot from the blue line, right? They've had some cannons, obviously, but I'm talking like Evan Bouchard right now. He pounds it, right? He's a righty. Sheldon Surrey shot bombs. He was a lefty. But I'm talking a right shot, and really even like just, I guess we should probably say a right winger. Now, Tomasek might be a center, so maybe he doesn't even fall into that category, but he can really fire the puck. And so that's something to watch for. The Oilers lines tonight. If you want them, it'll be McDavid, Draisaitl, and Frederick. You got Tomasek centering Mangiapane and Roby Järventie. Here's another player the Oilers acquired from Ottawa. Now, injuries have really derailed him. The last 2 seasons, he's played a total of 24 AHL games due to injury. Now, he did get 7 games in the NHL that year with Ottawa, but he's played only, so that's 31 games, but 24 in the AHL. Now, he did have 9 goals, 15 points, 22 points in that time. So he's been good when he plays. Unfortunately, he just hasn't played. Right? That's the challenge for him. It's actually 22 points in 9 goals, 13 assists, 22 points in 24 games, which is pretty good production. Right? Last year, he only got into 2 games due to injury, and he had 2 points. So when he's played, he's been productive. He's 23 years of age. Now, he does require waivers this year. I'd be surprised. Like, he's played 2 games last year. Right? I'd be surprised if a team's going to claim him on waivers. But Järventie, in the Oiler pipeline of players, if that guy stays healthy, he could be an option for a recall down the road potentially. So watch for him. You got Curtis Lazar centering Janmark and Hudson. So Hudson's going to play back-to-back nights. Szymanski will center Clattenburg and James Hamlin. And I'll say this about Clattenburg. He's made an impact every game he's played. On the back end, Ekholm and Bouchard. You'll have Leppinen playing again with Regula. And then you have Millman and Bo Akey. Stuart Skinner is going to get the start in goal tonight. I would expect him to go the full 60 minutes. Seattle lineup, nothing. I have to say this. Like, NHL, what are you doing? It's the preseason. Your fans were frothing at the mouth, having not had hockey for a while, and you can't publicly put out, don't even put out the lines for God's sakes. Post your lineup. You know who it is. You know who it is 2 days in advance. What are we doing? Like, this illustrates to me the lack just of overall awareness. Like I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. So I don't understand it. Right? I don't understand it at all. So I look at the Oilers and other teams like, hey, Edmonton put theirs out, great. Well, the media guys put it out, not the Oilers. But if I'm running a team, 7 a.m. the day of the game in a preseason game, I am putting out my roster on my socials of an organization. Why the hell wouldn't you give your fans as much time to know who's playing? I'm going to the game tonight. And guess what? You're a hockey fan. You want to see who is playing on the other team. Now, they played last night, and it's Seattle Kraken. It's not like, they're blessed with an abundance of high-end players, but still, they got NHL players. They're going to have to play some of them. So I don't understand it. Like, what are we worried about here? Oh, geez, they know who's in our line. And don't tell me you don't know, because they all know. Right? Unless there's an injury. And so that's why you can put out, list 21 guys. Who cares? But to not list anything is just, it's a little odd. I don't, I just don't understand it. So, so the Kraken, they put out a tweet 3 hours ago, going into oil country, where you can watch the game. And guess what? All the texts are, what's the lineup? What's the lineup? What's the lineup? No lineup. What? Grab a clue, NHL. Grab a clue. I'm the commissioner. I'm making this mandatory. I don't let the teams choose. I say, here's what your social media team has to do in the preseason. I know in the regular season are like, well, we want to wait to the last second, but everybody watches morning skate and 95% of it. But I'm telling you, the lineup card should be out minimum 5 hours with the, and you can put the lineup that says, hey, because we know who's on the roster, but put in the lineup. You can always make a last second change. Who cares? If you're not certain, just say, this is who we think the lineup is. And always just put a thing. A change can be, we are allowed to make a change for injuries or whatever. Right? That's all you have to do at the bottom of it. But it is not, it's just not a great idea. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Also on the show today, we'll hear from Geoff Baker. Maybe Bakes has the lines. We'll find out in about 8 minutes time. Bob Weeks will join us. The Ryder Cup begins today. Well, I guess they're having the big opening ceremonies today. They get everybody up on stage. They introduce all the teams. People are going nuts. This is a big deal, the Ryder Cup. For golf fans, it's such a unique part of golf, because golf is usually an individual sport. Then you get the Ryder Cup, and now it's teams, and you get people that are fired up. Connor Halley, I don't think you're a huge golf guy. Are you a Ryder Cup guy?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I will say the show Full Swing that Netflix does, following these golfers around, kind of got me fired up for. It's something that I do tune into. There is some national pride for the Americans, and the Europeans want to beat them. I think this year, even more so. I've heard stories about how the environment might be a little bit more raucous. So I'm all in. I'm looking forward to watching this. I love that we have the studio with the 2 TVs now, so we can get it going throughout the day. I am also looking forward to what Bob Weeks has to say. Just quickly, just right-handing on the power play. I looked it up, the numbers here. How about Craig Simpson? What kind of player was he? Because
Craig Simpson's the net front
because I was 1 and 2, kind of missed that era, but he had a few power play goals as a right-hander.
Oh yeah, very good. And Craig Simpson's career basically got cut short a little bit because of back injuries. That guy stood in front of the net and took an absolute beating. So yeah, no, he was a net front guy. Really good hands in tight. Great hair too. Simmer's got really good hair.
18 power play goals in 59 games one year.
Oh yeah, no, dude, that was the year he scored 56 goals, I think, for the Oilers when he came over in the trade from Pittsburgh.
43 goals, it says here.
Yeah, 43 total
56.
56. Yeah, he's a 56 goal scorer that year, but he doesn't go down as a 50 goal scorer in Oilers history because he didn't score the 50 in Edmonton. He scored 43. And it was you look at the numbers, he was clearly on pace had he played a full year in Edmonton to score 50. So it's one of those, he's a 50 goal scorer in the NHL, but he's not a 50 goal scorer for Edmonton. He's one of the, I think there's 3 or 4 guys who were traded in a year where they scored 50 goals. So, and he is one.
20 years old only too. That's wild.
Oh yeah. He came out of Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Simpson was a really good, well, you go look at the 1990 Stanley Cup. Go look at his numbers. Simpson was a big time player, man. And a huge part of that 1990 Stanley Cup winning team.
And I'm sure he would want me to make sure I say Michigan State.
Oh, yeah. Did I say Michigan?
Yeah. Well, we left it there. But, if you're alum from Michigan or Michigan State, you don't want to be confused. So.
No. Because did he not lead the Oilers in points that year with 31 when they won the Cup in 1990?
Oh, I'll slide over to his DB
you
here.
Check it out. I am very confident.
31 points. Yeah. 16 goals, 15 helpers.
Yeah. And he led the team. And in good scoring and in goals.
So. Crazy.
Yeah, no, he was a good player, but Simmer would probably be the first one to tell you, not a one-timer guy. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen Craig. I'm sure he can take a one-timer, but next time I see him, I'll ask him. Maybe I'll text. Simmer's listens sometimes, so we'll see if he's listening today. Did he take a one-timer? Did he ever? Not did he take a one-timer? Did he ever score on a one-timer in the NHL? That'll be my question. Simmer, let me know. You got my number. Hey, Greg, thanks for ranting on behalf of many regarding lineups. Thought it was just me that was frustrated by it, from Brian. No, Brian, it makes no sense. Like the Seattle Kraken can tweet out, oh, we're coming to Edmonton. This is where the game, you can watch it, people. But guess what? It's a secret who you can watch. Tune in at 6 o'clock. Dun, dun, dun. Like, really? What are we doing? What are we doing? We'll take a quick break, and we'll find out. Maybe Geoff Baker has the lineup next. It's the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, coming to you live in the E-Well studio, your partner in power since 1976.
Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order?
Yeah, can I get a...
Yes. A common reaction from a veggie lover. Always scanning, searching, longing. But wait, what is this we see? The new McVeggie. Now at McDonald's.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
It takes grit. It takes heart. It's the legendary Canadian Finals Rodeo, powered by ATV. From October 1st to 4th in Edmonton, the nation's best go head-to-head in a battle of pure willpower. Witness the raw strength and adrenaline at Rogers Place. Plus, soak up the Western lifestyle at the Canadian Country Expo, with free admission and shuttles running between the expo and the arena. This is more than a rodeo. It's a showdown. Get your tickets now at CFR.ca.
October 24th and 25th, hit the courts for Feisty Pickles, the first ever 24 hours of continuous pickleball action. Starts Friday night at Brace Athletics in St. Albert. It puts the fun in fundraising for Breathing Space, a groundbreaking lung transplant house. Recruit your team of 4 to 20 players and get your paddles ready to play. Feisty Pickles, Alberta Lungs 24-hour pickleball challenge. Register by October 15th at ablung.ca.
The bad news, winter will be here in a flash. But the really good news, right now during the Nissan Flash Sale, you can get a set of free winter tires. You might just look forward to winter coming back, and you still get 0% financing and $500 Nissan bonus. September 23rd to 27th only. Act fast. This flash won't last. See your local Nissan dealer or Nissan.ca for details. Offer available on select 2025 models. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
Imagine a busy classroom. Now imagine it if no one was willing to teach. Here's the reality. It's getting harder to keep teachers in the profession and to attract new people to an increasingly challenging job. Pay for teachers has fallen far behind inflation and cost of living. With fair wages, we can keep the ones we have and hire more. But we need the provincial government to step up. Because a fair deal for teachers is a good deal for kids. A message from the Alberta Teachers Association.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
This is not a sale. At Walmart, our everyday low prices mean you can count on low prices every single day. Like a 3-pound bag of fresh local Gala apples for only $4.97 each. Shop more everyday low prices in-store or on walmart.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Northwest Crane, available for all your lifting and equipment needs. Specializing in selling and servicing cranes, get lifting at northwestcrane.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Buddy, I love guys who play sports because they remember. Simmer texted me. Hey, Check out Game 4, 1990, second period. One-timer, one of my best shots. Well, so there you go. Simmer could one-time it. It's pretty good at it. So I love it, though. Like, right down to the detail. He actually had 4 points. I just looked up at that game summary on May 22nd of 1990. Oilers win 5-1. Simpson ends up with 2 goals and 2 assists that night. Him, Messier, and Anderson were killed. Well, they killed it the whole playoffs, but they were crushing the Bruins that night almost single-handedly. As Anderson also had 2 goals, 2 assists. Messier 3 assists. Simpson 2 goals, 2 assists. So that line combined for 11 points. And Simmer could indeed one-time the puck. So my apologies. He did. He goes, but I was really good around the net. See, that's what I remember. So there you go. Curry was the one-timer really, but Simpson, pretty good one-timer. So I got video evidence. We might have to get Deck to post that up on our YouTube once he finds it. So I like it, or once he's able to take it. So that is great stuff. Let's go around the NHL. Brought to you by McDonald's and the new McVeggie burger. Connor Halley. They had it in studio yesterday. I didn't get one, but Connor Halley did. And he's giving it the 2 thumbs up. Now, he did say this. There's 2 versions. There's a spicy one, and he says, oh, it's spicy. So, regular or spicy? Try out the veggie burger right now at McDonald's. As the Oilers are hosting the Seattle Kraken. Now, Oilers won 3-2 in Winnipeg last night. The Kraken lost 4-1 in Calgary. Both teams, well, I'm assuming, because the Kraken's lineup right now seems like it's a caramel secret, but the Oilers are going to have basically a whole new lineup, except Hudson is playing again and Leppinen. Those 2 guys played last night. They're both playing again tonight for the Edmonton Oilers, and we'll find out. I know there's some injuries with McCann in Seattle. They just sent some guys back to junior, so I don't know if they'll have 2 full lineups. Maybe they'll have some guys go back-to-back. Geoff Baker joins us, a beat reporter for the Kraken. Jeff, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Getting ready for tonight's big matchup. We are going to be sending, we'll be sending at least 2 lines of NHL players to this game. You can see it if you go up to our website, SeattleKraken.com. We have the projected lines. They're not official, but, those are some of the players who made the trip. So we're going to have a line. Our top line is Matty Beniers, Yanni Newman, and Capo Caco is going to be one of them. And then we got Shane Wright centering another one between our team's leading goal scorer last year, Jaden Schwartz, and Jordan Everly on right wing. You might have heard of the guy.
He had a pretty good career in Edmonton. Yeah, pretty good career in Edmonton. And obviously the captain in Seattle right now. Jamie Alexiak, Josh Mahura, the local St. Albert boy. He's going to play. You got Olofsson, Cale Fleury, Jugnoth, and Ty Nelson. Look, those are some young guys more down the road. Do you know who's going to play in goal tonight?
Yeah, it should be Joey Decord and then Nikki Coco. They've been splitting time between the 2 of them. Decord got 2 periods during the preseason opener, and Coco finished off the other one. I'm not sure what the exact split is going to be tonight, but it should be some kind of split about that along those lines.
So and I know it's preseason, but you've obviously talked to the coach. How different stylistically do you think the Kraken are going to play this year with the new coach?
I think they're going to play a lot more disciplined. And the code words that we use are things here like details. It's all detail oriented, and that's code for, you got to play discipline. You got to get, elements of your game down, and you got to stick to it, and you got to execute those elements. And that's what they're looking for. It was a little too loosey-goosey at times, I think, last season. We scored, I think last year we scored about 30 more goals, and I think we gave up about 30 more goals. So that was a trade-off we weren't really that interested in. We actually need to cut down on some of our goals against and manage to pick up a few goals along the way. That would help kind of narrow that goal differential a bit. And then that's, that'll get us a little closer to the win column in a lot more of these games if we can do that. We've been playing a lot of the style that Lane Lambert likes to deploy is out of the back end, starting with the defense, get the puck out of the zone quickly, move it up, but don't just shoot it out, move it up ice and generate offense from there, get it through the neutral zone. It sounds really easy. It was when I was playing ball hockey on the streets of Montreal, but when I was a kid, but it gets a little tougher when you've actually got professional defenses that can slow you down. So, they've been working on that all through camp. When you look at this Seattle roster and, obviously Kakko, Beniers, and Wright, I think, they got some older guys around them, but, to take that next step to get a team back into the playoff hunt and be into the playoffs, those are kind of the guys that are going to have to lead this group. What's your I thought Shane Wright took a big step last year, especially in the final 50 games of the season. How's he looked, and do you expect maybe another step forward for him this year? I do expect a step forward, mainly because his ice time was very limited last year. He put up the 19 goals that he did, and he was playing fourth line. He was seeing fourth line duty a lot of the times. Now, some of that was protected. He wasn't going up against the other team's top scoring lines all the time, like he'll have to be if he's going to play anywhere in the top three. But for a first season, that was a good start, and he's been very dedicated every offseason. He goes and he works out with Gary Roberts in Toronto. And really works on his skating and his explosiveness, his strength. He's put on a lot of muscle in his upper body and some good muscle in his legs as well. So he's become a much stronger skater. His balance is there. He doesn't get knocked off the puck the way he would have, let's say, coming out of junior. And he didn't have that much room to go after last season, and then he actually managed to take it a step forward this summer. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how he plays. Like I said, he's experienced the league for a full season now. He tasted it a bit those first two, but now he really knows what to expect. And I think his confidence level is about as high as it's ever been. Well, that's good. Well, how did Kakko do? Did you find, was there a little bit of time for him to get used to it in Seattle? And what's realistic expectations for him this year? No, that's a great question. I mean, just if you like to be a dreamer and dream, I mean, he was the number 2 overall picks, right? So theoretically, the sky's the limit. But being realistic, we're 6 years removed from that. I think last year he really found his groove once they paired him with Matty Beniers, and so did Beniers. Beniers' game kind of took off when they paired him with Kakko on a line, and that's why you're seeing now this will be the second game in a row they've played together. In the preseason, they really want to test that chemistry out. And Yanni Newman, again, they want to see if he can break camp with this team. There's a very good chance that that'll happen. And he played very well with those two guys when he was up for a dozen games last year. All he does is score goals. So, I mean, if those guys can click, I mean, they really do play off each other. Kakko's got the size, obviously, and he's talked about wanting to go to the net a little bit more to the dangerous areas, use his size to his advantage, because then he'll pick up some more goals. He got a lot of assists last year, and Beniers' scoring really took off because of him, because he was there helping set him up. I think Kakko wants to actually score some more goals himself and kind of up that part of his game. So we'll see if he can do that, and those two find a give and go between them. There's a lot of potential there for Kakko that I think was underutilized, underdeveloped, let's say, in New York. And I think just getting out of that situation, coming to the West Coast, where the spotlight on hockey is not as huge as it necessarily is in the Big Apple. I think that's really giving him one less thing to worry about. He's very worried about his game now on the ice more than anything. Philip Grubauer, not worried about it. He's focusing on it. That's fair. So. Philip Grubauer had a decent year last year. And Joey Decord, I think, as long as he doesn't get overtaxed, he's a pretty good goalie. So do you think we're going to see like Philip Gruber, not necessarily a 50-50 split, although I guess that's still a possibility, right? He's got 2 years left. And when they signed him, they were hoping like this guy would be their main guy. What's kind of your best guess? Is it a 45-35 split? Do you think it's going to depend on how they play? Is Joey Decord clearly the starter? What do you think happens in goal? I think going forward right now, Joey Decord is clearly the starter. I think he's earned that the last 2 seasons. Now, how much of a starter he becomes is that depends on his play. I don't think we're going to see a 50-50 split. No. Okay. But if Matt Murray's in that equation, and they haven't ruled that out yet, carrying a third goalie, if he's in that equation, could I see a 50-50 split between Decord and the other two? Absolutely. I think realistically, Decord, I think they would like to look at something in the 55 range. 55% maybe. They don't want to overtax him. So if you've seen the last 2 seasons, what happened was the cord played lights out all the way through, let's say January, through the All-Star break, I would say. And then if you look at his stats after that, that's when his numbers tended to dip off quite significantly. And it's no fluke. They were playing him something like 19 out of every 21 games at that point, both of the last 2 seasons. So I think they want to avoid that. I think they would love to get some real competition brewing up behind him. And Grubauer's not some kid coming out of the minors. Neither is Murray. I mean, these are guys that have both tasted big time NHL success. And so if they can replicate that, I think that would be the best case going forward. But I mean, the cord, showed he could be a number 1 goalie the last 2 years. And the amount of goals that he took off the scoreboard were in the top 5 or 10, let's say, in the NHL. So I think going forward, it's his job to lose. And I haven't seen any sign that he's about to lose it. So I think what you're looking for now is to get some really high quality backup work behind him to go with that. And then this team will shave some of that goal differential down just on that.
Do you see, and it's super early in camp, but do you see anybody making this team that wasn't there last year, like a young guy pushing up who could make an impact?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's 2 guys. One of them I just mentioned, Yanni Newman.
Yeah.
I mean, literally all the guy does is score. He had, I think, 25 goals in something like 58 games in the AHL last year, which is, top 5 in the league. Never mind rookies. He was a rookie last year. And then he comes up to the Kraken, plays a dozen games, scores 3 goals in his first handful of those games. And then he scored 2 goals in the preseason opener a couple of nights ago. I mean, there's a big kid, goes to the net, and he's got a shot. He's got a legit NHL shot. And so they do try to feed him the puck quite a bit. He's trying to make this team out of camp. They need more size up front. They've said that in the past. And so he fits all of those bills. What they have to see from him is the skating ability, the ability to keep bringing it night after night. And so they're taking a long look at him. The other kid is Berkeley Catton, who was our number 8 overall pick a couple of summers ago. He's torn up the Western Hockey League the last couple of years. And it's the same situation Shane Wright was in. He's too young to go to the AHL now.
Yep.
He doesn't have that much left to prove in junior, if anything. And so they're taking a long look at him right now to see whether he breaks camp with the team. There's a very good chance that he will, at least for the 9-game trial period. And so there's a lot of eyes on him in camp. He won't be there tonight, but that's the other kid. So if you want to look at Yanni Newman, that's the guy to watch on the line with Beniers and Capo Caco.
Well, you look at Berkeley Cat in the last 2 years in junior, he's had 92 goals and 125 points or 225 points. So back-to-back, 100-point seasons playing with the Spokane Chiefs, 116, 109 points. He's if the guy was like born 15 days earlier, he'd be eligible to play this year because he's a January 14th birthday. But yeah, he's lit it up, and I could see them keeping him for a bit. And we've seen other teams do it. The Oilers did it with Leon Drysdale. They kept him for 37 games, and they sent him back to junior. And they didn't really care about burning the year of his entry-level deal. Some teams just like to keep him for the 9 games. They practice him, and then they send him back to the World Juniors. So there are some options for sure, because if you're Seattle, you look and say, okay, Burke, Catton could help us. But unless he's like a real difference maker, you're almost better off to keep him around, get his feet wet, but then send him back to junior and then have him come in next year when he's better. And like we saw with Drysdale, Drysdale went from a guy who had 2 points in 37 games, I think it was, or maybe 4 points.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next year he had 51 points. And then everybody knows what happened to him. I'm not saying that, the Catton's going to be the next Leon Drysdale, but there is benefits at times to not rushing young guys.
Oh, absolutely. And if you look at the situation now, I mean, we basically have our 4 centermen set for this season, between Beniers, Wright, Chandler Stevenson, and Freddie Gaudreau. I mean, those are guys that you're really not going to displace at the center position. And you don't want Berkeley Catton playing center on your 4th line if he was going to displace any of those guys. And so Catton will probably be playing the wing, for the most part, if he does make the NHL. And we'll see how he fits in at that point. But like you said, and they've had the good news is they've had this experience with Shane Wright. He turned out okay. Everybody was panicking. Oh, you're going to hurt his development. You're going to do this, do that. And in the end, Shane Wright developed and scored 19 goals in his first full season. I don't think his development was hindered one bit by the experience he went through. And they did exactly that. They kept him up for the first half of the year. I mean, he played in 8 games, NHL games, sent him to the World Juniors, and then got him a rehab assignment in the AHL, circumvented the rules a little bit there. Legal loophole they found. And so he really only had to play a couple of months of junior hockey at that point. And he was a year younger too. So, I mean, whatever happens with Canton this year, it's not going to be the end of the world for him if he doesn't, spend the full season up in the NHL, and he does have to play a little bit of junior. That's not, I think what the problem is, what the point is that everybody gets upset about is when these kids have to go play an entire year of junior hockey and not experience any taste of the professional level. That does, in theory, set their development back quite a bit, but that's not going to happen here in this case.
Yeah, no, now Vince Dunn, unfortunately, we know he's not going to play, but you got Brandon Montour, you got Adam Larson, Jamie Alexak, Ryan Lindgren. I think those guys are obvious. Riker Evans, I think, is probably no brainer. So does it really come down to Mahura and Fleury to see who's 6 and who's 7 on the back end?
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment of it. That's what we're looking at as of right now. Yeah, I mean, Oleksiak still has a year left to go in his contract. And, he's still here, still with the team. As long as he's here, he's not going to be sitting on the bench. So, yeah, it's going to be between those two, I would say. I would say Mahura probably has the edge in that department, given that he played a full season in the NHL last year. Fleury still hasn't played a full season in the NHL. He's had tastes here and there. So, I mean, I think Fleury would really have to do something, above average in order to knock Mahura out of that spot.
I want to ask you about another local guy from Irma, Alberta. The Furcus Circus was what they called him when he played for the Moose Jaw Warriors. Had a pretty good rookie season in the American League last year, 15 goals, 36 points. How's he looked in camp, and how close is he maybe for pushing for an NHL job?
I think Furcus has all the skills that everybody has touted and everybody's seen over the years. And the big question is the same as it's been from the day he was drafted. How is his body type going to fit in the NHL? Can he get bigger? Can he get taller? And there's some things you can't control in that regard. So it's going to be, how does he adjust to the professional game with the physical size limitations that he has? And, I think he had an adjustment period in the AHL, like every rookie kid has, no matter how big you are. And I think, the more he goes forward as a pro, the better he's going to learn to adapt to those skills. I mean, judging him here after a game or two, at times where you see the physical stuff come into play is when guys try to move the puck up the boards. Like, can they get the puck out of the zone, or when the other team forechecks you, are you going to start panicking and rushing stuff? And, that at times, he's taken some hits out there. And again, I think it's just getting used to the speed, the size, and he's going to have to learn, to adjust his body, and his size limitations to a league where, every player is big and fast and comes at you like a lightning bolt. And I think it's just going to take him some time. I don't think he's ready for the NHL yet. I think he's got to, do some more adjusting in the AHL this season, and then we'll see where he goes from there.
Awesome, man. I appreciate this, Geoff, so much. We'll see you at the rink tonight. Enjoy the game.
Sounds good.
Take care. Geoff Baker joining us from Seattle. So the Kraken, I can outline it for you. Their official lineup: Benier, centering Kako and Neiman, right with Jordan Eberle and Dustin Schwartz, Molgard with Hayden and Soleil, and then Morrison with Furcus and Myers on the back end. Josh Mahura with Alexiak, Fleury and Olofsson. Nelson and Jugnoth, and then Joey Decord and Coco. As Geoff said, not sure what the split is going to be potentially. Stuart Skinner will start in goal for the Edmonton Oilers, and I expect him to go the full game tonight. That was Around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's and the new McVeggie Burger. We'll take a quick break or turn on the Gregor Show. We'll hear go in the orders room. Also, the big event of the weekend. We'll discuss it next.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need: Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Experience a season of superior luxury, performance, and savings. The Fall Experience event is on now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. The all-new redesigned 2026 XC90 is here. Come drive one today. You won't be disappointed. Finance or lease a 2026 XC40 from 1.99%. And right now, you can save $7,500 on remaining 2025 XC60s. The Fall Experience event is on now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better service. Visit volvocarsedmonton.com.
Edmonton Elks Indigenous Celebration is back, presented by No Frills. September 27th versus the Saskatchewan Roughriders, featuring Indigenous dance and drum halftime performances, pregame makers market, and the unveiling of our brand new Indigenous gear. Tickets at goelks.com.
Japa Machinery Group knows that XCMG may not roll off the tongue, but Japa's team will help keep your construction jobs rolling on time and on budget with heavy equipment sales and rentals. Visit japamachinery.com to find out more.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Ah, Hawaii. The warmth of a golden sunset as the waves roll in. The freshness of a waterfall. The lush scent of tropical flowers in the air. You don't need to travel to enjoy all Hawaii has to offer. You just need to order pizza. Bring Hawaii home with the Aloha Trio, available for a limited time at Papa John's. Try our classic Hawaiian, super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken for just $19.99 each. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 25% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until October 18th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by playalberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$246 Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Sports 1440, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hey, while you're in the, go join Declan in the chat. Hey, talking Ryder Cup right now, but talk some football, talk some hockey. Also, we always like random questions because now this one I think is going to vary from human to human. But so we made hamburger soup last, actually, I think it was last Wednesday even. Stays in the, keeping the crock pot. I like it to, sit in there and get the flavors for an extra day and put it in the fridge. So I had some leftovers, kind of forgot that they were in the fridge. And so today I saw it. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to heat it up and eat it. And I just happened to ask Declan and Connor, I'm like, well, how long do you guys eat like a hamburger soup? They're like 3 days, 4 days. I'm like, what? Like, first of all, like, this is not chicken. I don't know if, like, I've never had bad beef, like, afterwards that's gone wrong. I think I would smell it. But so I'm curious, where do you come out on how long, when it's refrigerated, sealed properly, do you keep, hamburger soup? How long before you would throw it out, before you'd eat it? I'm just curious. Let me know. Are you on Connor and Declan, like day 4, or am I a risk taker in day 7? 833-401-1440. I'm just curious. Let's get to the golf report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. One thing you don't wait on, getting your furnace maintenance. You want to save money? Don't wait. Get a maintenance check. It'll save you lots of cash and keep the life of your furnace lasting longer. Get maintenance right now at legacyheating.ca. As Weeks from Golf Talk Canada joins us, and the ceremony is over. The big introduction for the Ryder Cup. Both teams, Bob, come on stage. Massive crowds watching the players get announced. This is always, like, this is so different for golf, which is why I think both the players and the spectators love it, because it's way more emotional. It's a team atmosphere that doesn't happen in an individual sport. What do you love most about the Ryder Cup?
I love that it's the one time a year, or every other year in the case of the Ryder Cup, but you get the President's Cup as well, where there's an us versus them, where, it's not a bunch of individuals out on the course. We want this side to win and we want that side to lose. And over the last few years, it's kind of taken on a bit more of an edge, I guess you might say. But I love that part of it, just that one time a year, plus the fact that you're playing match play. You're playing in partnerships. You're playing 4-ball. You're playing foursomes. And I think if you get the right year where it gets down to the wire and it's very tight, it can be pretty exciting stuff. We haven't had one of those for a little while, but it's just a totally different golf event than we get, the other 51 weeks a year.
So they're going to play at Bethpage, just outside New York. When you look at the course and then you look at the two teams, do you feel there's an advantage at all for style of play from one team to the other?
Well, Bethpage has hosted a couple of U.S. Opens, a PGA Championship before, and they set the golf course up very tough. This is a public golf course that's run by the state of New York. It actually was sort of revived a number of years ago in order to host the U.S. Open, and it can be a monster. So when they play the U.S. Open there, the rough is long, the course plays about 7,500 yards. They're not going to use that kind of a setup this week. They've cut the rough down.
Okay.
They've moved some of the tees up because they want some excitement. They want guys to try and drive. The first hole, the tee is moved up 40 yards from where it normally would play at a U.S. Open. That's because they want guys to try and reach the first green with a tee shot. So there's a little different formula of play. You don't care if you shoot 80 as long as you win more holes than the other guy. So the U.S. has the advantage of asking the guys who are setting up the course, hey, we have more guys who hit it longer than they do. So can you make some of these holes where we can drive them? And also we have guys that don't hit the ball all that straight. So can you cut the rough down a little bit so it's easier to get out? So that's kind of the way they do it. So I would say at this point that the U.S. is probably favored, but as to how much of a role that plays, I'm not sure it's huge, but it's certainly a little bit significant anyway.
Now, is that something historically, Bob? Like, if you're the host country, can you change the setup a bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can alter it. You can't change it. Like, you can't put the flags in the bunkers or something like that. But you can go to certain extents to change it to try and favor your side. So in 2 years' time, the Europeans will do the exact same thing. They did it 2 years ago in Rome. It was exact opposite. The fairways were narrow. The rough was very long. So each side likes to try and to massage things a little bit to give them whatever kind of an edge they can get.
Bob Weeks joins us. Bob, looking at the matchup for Friday, is there one that is the most intriguing for you?
Well, at this point, we don't know. They haven't actually
announced him yet?
Yeah, but I'll tell you that in a bigger picture kind of question, we know that they're going to play 2 rounds on Friday. They're going to play foursomes in the morning, and then which is alternate shots. So each player takes turns hitting one ball, and then on Friday afternoon they're going to play 4-ball, which is basically like better ball. as we know it here. Each player will play their own golf ball, and the lowest score between the two players counts for the team. And, what you're hoping to do is to try and figure out exactly who's going to play with who. And I'm thinking that, for Rory McIlroy, he's probably going to play with Tommy Fleetwood because they went 2-0 last time in the foursomes. And I'm looking at Scotty Scheffler and trying to see who he's going to play with. And I think it might be Russell Henley. Now, that's not a name that a lot of people might not know right off the cuff, but he's actually the third-ranked player in the world. So you have the potential to have the first and third-ranked players in the world playing together for Team USA on Friday morning. So that would be an intriguing matchup, especially if they happen to maybe get up against Rory McIlroy. But it's sort of a blind draw at this point, and we'll know tomorrow at this time exactly who's going to play in that first session on Friday morning.
Now, when we get to the single Sunday, there are some intriguing matchups, and I know there's not said. A lot of people think, hey, it's going to be Scheffler versus Rory, and that might happen. But you could make an argument that if you put DeChambeau versus Rory, probably the two most passionate guys on each side, that could be fun. And maybe a rematch of 2021, which shows you how quickly things change. I know you know this answer, Bob, but back in 2021, there was kind of an unknown guy who faced off against Jon Rahm on Sunday single and beat him 4-3. 4-3, I should say. And that was Scotty Scheffler. And now you look 4 years later, Scotty Scheffler is the best player in the world, and it's really not even close. But back then, like 4 years ago, that was considered a major upset because, Jon Rahm had just won the U.S. Open and, was one of the best golfers. And Scotty was unknown's probably unfair, but he definitely wasn't considered one of the top dogs. Do you think that was kind of like his coming out party when you look back?
Yeah, to a certain extent, it certainly was. I mean, Jon Rahm was one of the best players in the world. And so I think Scotty Scheffler was showing that he can keep up with the big dogs. And, since then, the last 3 years, I mean, he's just gone on to win and win and win and win and win and win, right? I mean, just never stops winning. And now the question is, that everything sort of shifts onto him. Like, what if there was Rasmus Højgaard, who's on the European team? What if he came out and beat Scotty Scheffler? I'm not saying that he's going to be the world number one in 4 months, but those kind of things happen in the Ryder Cup where you get these upsets, where you get these underdog either teams or individuals playing. There's so much strategy and analytics now that goes in. I mean, the European team has spent fortunes on analytics to see who plays well with who on their side and who should they be playing against if they can try and figure it out. It's a little bit of a guessing game as to who you're going to put up against the other team because you don't know. They put them out. There's 4 matches or on Friday morning. And the U.S. will put their 4 in order, and the Europeans will put their 4 in order, and they'll just kind of unveil it. So you don't really know who's going to play against who until this happens. But you try to figure things out and get the best matchups that you can. But there's a lot of good players in this event, obviously, because they are the top from each side. And you do get the odd person like a Rasmus Højgaard, who's the only rookie on the only guy who wasn't there 2 years ago for the European team, and you have 4 first-timers on the American team. So somebody can make a statement out there and win 3-4 points and really sway things.
Scotty Scheffler's season, one of the best we've seen as Bob Weeks joined us. And really, even just this run that he's on, Bob, it's the closest thing we've seen to Tiger Woods in a while. And like when you look at Scheffler's game and, I know he came out and he was kind of like, I'm not going to like, he's like, hey, there's more to life than golf. I'm just really good at golf. And I appreciated what he said because I do think it's true. But when you look at Scotty Scheffler, like there's potential here for him to continue this for many more years. And who do you think would be his biggest threat to win more or even amounts of him over the next few seasons?
It's a good question, and it's hard because as you pointed out earlier, there's 4 years ago we didn't know who Scotty Scheffler was. So it's at a point where there's a guy that could come up. I mean, there's some guys who are playing some pretty good golf right now. There's some good young guys. Ludwig Oberg, who's playing on the European team, is a stud. Victor Hovland's a good player. JJ Spawn just won the U.S. Open this year, and he looks like he might be able to take the next step. So there's a few good players out there, but you never know if and getting onto a roll like Scotty Scheffler's on is pretty rare. I mean, the talent level is so deep on the PGA Tour that to win 2 tournaments in a year is amazing. he's got 6 this year and 6 last year, and and 2 major championships along the way. So, what we're seeing from Scotty Scheffler, I'm not sure how long he'll keep it up, but this is really one of the more amazing performances or last couple of years anyway of a golfer out there. I mean, Rory McIlroy could turn it on again next year. He won a bunch this year as well.
Yeah, 3, I think,
Masters.
right?
So,
I think he won 3. Yeah.
Yep, he did win 3. So, so there's occasions when guys just get the right feeling and they get on a run. Xander Schauffele 2 years ago won 2 major championships in 4 times, I think, and he didn't win it all this year. So easy come, easy go. You never really know what's going to happen next season, but there's a lot of good players out there right now, and if you win 6 times, you are really making a statement.
What about Sepp Straka, who I think he was tied for 3rd last year, and I think he had 2 wins on the on the season. And had a few top 10s, 5 or 6, if memory's correct. Where do you make what do you make of Straka? And could he be a guy who pushes even higher?
Sure, he might be he's probably the best golfer ever to come out of Austria. And, he's probably one of the few golfers from Austria who has a southern U.S. accent, because he went to Georgia and he's lived there ever since. But he's quite a character. He's a big boy, and Straka is a guy who I've always liked. I thought that his game has been pretty good. I think, he got those early wins this season and maybe sort of coasted in towards the finish line. But he's a good player. And again, there's a guy who could step up at any time. There's so many guys out there really who could step up. I'm expecting things from Straka this week at the Ryder Cup. He's a guy who I think has enough good game in match play. You can play 15 great holes in match play and 3 terrible holes, and you can win easily. And I think that's the kind of game that maybe Sepp Straka has lately. But listen, if you're good enough to win on the PGA Tour, if you're good enough to get enough points to get on that European team, then you're good enough to beat anybody on the other side.
Lastly, give me your thoughts on Brooke Henderson, who now has 14 wins on the LPGA Tour, which I think puts her 42nd all time in women's golf. Got a little ways to go to catch Kathy Whitworth, but in the 60s. But still, she had a good year last year, and she's still really young. Where do you see Brooke's game at, and has her putting? Because that's always been the thing they talk about, is she wants to get better of a putter. Did you notice a significant improvement there for her?
Well, this year was sort of a strange one for her, because she really didn't play all that well for the first part of the year. And then she comes to Mississauga Golf and Country Club, and I got to say, kind of out of the blue, wins the Canadian Women's Open. And it's sort of a shocking thing. But she has been telling us, those who've been chatting with her over the year, that she feels really close. She had felt really close to playing some good golf. She had, some good weeks, or she had weeks where she putted well and didn't drive the ball well, or vice versa. And that's kind of what golf is. It's pretty fickle. I mean, we were talking about Scotty Scheffler winning 6 times on the PGA Tour. There has not been one repeat winner on the LPGA Tour this season. Every winner has been different, and that's how difficult it is to win on any professional golf league, but this year on the LPGA Tour. But Brooke Henderson, she's 28 years old now. It doesn't seem that old, but she's been at it for 11 years, and I still think she has the passion for it. But I do think Brooke is sort of seeing that the world is bigger than just golf now, and there are other things to do, whether it be traveling the world or something, or doing other things besides golf when she's home. And I think that's something that's common amongst golfers, all golfers per se. But I think I see it especially on the women's side, where it could be a lonely game. If you're out there traveling by yourself, if you don't have a partner, or any kind of, her sister was caddying for her, but her sister's married now, so Brooke's on her own. But I think you're going to see more from Brooke. I think you could see her win more championships. I mean, 14, if she gets to 16, she's double the best of any other golfer, male or female, in Canada. So she's already accomplished a lot in her young career, but I expect there'll be more to come.
Well, she's on pace definitely to get into the Golf Hall of Fame, for no question, as for the women. But I do have to ask, because I was looking up the list of most wins, and any idea why Jane Bielak, who's she's the only golfer top 20 in wins, tour wins, who's not in the Hall of Fame?
Well, the LPGA Tour Hall of Fame has a very weird system. It's sort of like a quota point system, and you have to win a certain number of major championships coupled with regular tour events. And if you don't have the majors, and I don't know off the top of my head what
and Bob, that's what I thought too, because I looked. She has no majors, but she had 27 wins. But Judy Rankin has no majors and has 26 wins, and she's in. So that's why I was wondering.
I think Judy Rankin might have a major, but I could be wrong.
I'm looking on the list right now in front, and it says she doesn't have one. Now maybe this page is incorrect, but they say she doesn't have one. So,
well, that's something for us to investigate, isn't it? We'll have to come back.
I was just kind of curious. Because I was just looking at it, and I'm like, man, the way Brooke's playing, she's almost punched her ticket at this point, right? Like there's, Dottie Pepper has 2 majors and only 17 wins, and she's really out of the top 35. I think and Christy Kerr's still playing, so she'll get in. I would not still playing, but I think Christy Kerr will probably eventually get in as well. But Lydia Ko, I assume like she's still playing. She's obviously, I think, going to get in when it's all said and done. She's already got 23. She's already top 25. But like Brooke Henderson is basically almost secure. She's only 28. She's almost secured herself, almost a lock to get in.
I can tell you one thing for sure. She's pretty much a lock to get into the Canadian Golf Hall.
Yeah, that I can say. She could get in as an active member playing still if they wanted to put her in. I don't think anyone would debate that one for sure.
That's right.
Awesome stuff, Bob. Appreciate it. Enjoy the Ryder Cup.
Anytime. Take care. Bye-bye.
There you go. That's Bob Weeks from it was from, of course, TSN Golf Talk Canada. And that was just interesting. I always kind of find unique things as to you see someone with 26 wins and no majors and in, and one with 27 and no majors and out. So I could see if it was like, you know what, you don't have a major. I can understand that if that's their, their reasoning a little bit. It's like the orders. If you're not in the Hall of Fame, you don't get your jersey retired by the Edmonton Oilers. That's just what it is. And I can respect. Now they do have the Wall of Honor, the Wall of Fame now. For other players who were, and other people in the organization who did massive things, which is great. But to have your jersey retired, you need to be a Hall of Famer. So if they said, hey, you got to have a major, okay, I get it. And then I look at Ayoko Akamoto. She has 17 wins, no majors, and she's in. So just curious. I'm always curious, like, is it a personality thing? Who knows? It's after 3 o'clock. Let's get to the Con Man Sports 1440 update brought to you by 01 Hockeyology. Keep your game sharp all year round. Specialized training on and off the ice. It's a fantastic deal. $300 a month and gets you up to 18 sessions. It's a great deal. 01 Hockeyology. Check it out, 01.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Game 8, the Edmonton Oilers in action tonight, hosting the Kraken down at Rogers Place. Puck drop in this one set just after 7 o'clock in the majors. The Toronto Blue Jays and confirming the signing of Korean 18-year-old righty Moon Seo-jun. Moon turned down offers from the Dodgers and the Mets to sign the $1 million deal with the Jays and was expected to be a top 3 pick in this month's KBO draft. Jays are in action this evening, taking on the Boston Red Sox once again. First pitch just after 5. Outfielder Anthony Santander is making his return to the lineup, batting 5th and serving as the DH. Elsewhere, you got the Padres and Brewers in action midway through the 3rd. They're scoreless later today. Guardians taking on the Tigers. Reds host the Pirates. Marlins in Philly. Yankees up against the White Sox once again. The Mets in Chicago take on the Cubbies. Diamondbacks host the Dodgers. Cards battle the Giants, and the Athletics host the Astros. Earlier today, the Nationals get past the Braves by a score of 4-3. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll hear from Dave McCarthy from Sirius XM NHL and hear another edition of Cam Tate's 2-Minute Warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Mr. Rooter goes for a fall stroll.
Ah, the beauty of fall. These leaves are crunchier than that calcified shower head I replaced this morning. And the earthy yellow oranges and browns are as colorful as the wad of hair I pulled out of the shower drain.
Ugh, Mr. Rooter, can we talk about something else?
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you didn't like fall. You look about as sour as the sewer line I unclogged yesterday.
For a plumber you'll truly fall for, call Mr. Rooter.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Find incredible savings on everything you need for your home at The Brick. Save up to $800 on sofas and up to $1,000 off select major appliances when you buy 2 or more. Whether you're furnishing a new space or refreshing your current one, The Brick has designs to fit any style and budget, all backed by their exceptional service. Visit one of their 4 locations in Edmonton, downtown, South Common, West Edmonton Mall, or 137th on the north side. See in-store for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Big guests, bigger takes. Jason Gregor brings the names you know and the stories
just after 2 o'clock.
2 to 6 on Sports 1440. Don't miss a minute of the action on Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and
guys who play sports because they remember.
I know homeowners will love better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level.
Sports
With up to 7 stages of
1440.ca.
filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade.
$300
Safer
a
water
month to get
that
you up to
tastes great.
Check
Get
it out,
started with a
01.
free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. TNA Wrestling makes its explosive debut at the Expo Centre on Friday, September 26th and Saturday, September 27th for back-to-back nights. Buy your tickets online today. Learn more about what's happening at the Expo Centre by visiting the calendar of events online at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Edmonton's only 24-hour-a-day sports radio station can be heard anytime, anywhere. Sports 1440 is streaming on your phone, your tablet, your computer. Download an app today and listen to Sports 1440.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$3.10. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, as well as Sports 1440. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where it's Wednesday. The OG, the original. Lotto 649. Get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca for tonight's gold ball jackpot of $24 million and the classic jackpot of $5 million. And hey, did one of you win last night? Somebody won the $31 million Lotto Max. I hope it was you or someone you know. Good luck. Just remember the deal. You host a party, you invite us. Con's like, hey, we'd like party. Lowtide didn't invite us to his wedding. So no, he didn't really have a big wedding party, but still, we like to juice him about it. So it was a quick weekend for LT. So congratulations to the newlyweds. You should have seen Al. He was just like, he's got a more pep in his step. this week. It's like a newlywed running around. He's writing love notes to his wife now during commercial breaks. It's, that gaga stage that you're in early on as newlyweds. Well, he's right in the mix of it. Even his it's amazing. I didn't know people who are 102 could be that way. So that's fantastic.
See his ring?
Actually, no, I did not.
Shiny. He's got some bling on it now. Yeah.
Has it got like a diamond all around it?
I don't know. It was just popping. I don't know.
Wow. He just shines it up before he comes in.
Yeah.
Did he do one of these? Hi guys, how are you? Oh, what's this? Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He stood up and put his arm on the table just so I could see it specifically. Yeah, it looks very nice.
LT is very flashy, right? Like that's really his MO. I could see him walking in the mall. Hi everyone. Did you notice that? Yes. It's a new ring. I like it. Why not? It's fantastic. Don't say anything. I misplaced mine right now. So it's a bone of contention, Cons.
That does happen.
I tried golfing with it on, and then I knew it, and I took it off, and now I was positive I put it in my golf bag. Now, granted, I haven't done a deep dive. I just noticed the other day. I'm like, because I don't wear my wedding ring a ton. It's my wife neither. Like we just don't. We never have. Like I don't know. My dad never wore his, and honestly, on the farm, whatever. So I never really around work, and I don't know. Never got used to wearing it very much. Like I'd wear it periodically and stuff when we go for dinner and stuff like that. But I was never an everyday wearer of it. So, but I like knowing where it is, and now I don't know where it is. So that'll be a little bit of a search. So
I like the silicone.
Is that what he's going with?
That's what I went with. Well, I have mine, but it was uncomfortable.
Okay.
So I bought the silicone ones. You'll see the athletes wear them because they, you won't break your finger. I think a lot of tradesmen will have them as well. You get a 12-pack for $20 on Amazon. I got different colors I wear sometimes. Coordinate
nice
with the outfit.
All right. Okay. I like it. Hey guys, now we got a lot of texts coming in for our question about how long is too long for leftovers in the fridge, specifically hamburger soup. Because ours is on 7 days, and I decided. My wife's like, "You can't eat that." I'm like, "Well, it'd be fine." Connor and Declan looked at me like I was crazy. They're saying 3 to 4 days. Tiger Lily, Alberta. Guys, if you have a good set of guts, smells good, why not? I hate wasting leftovers. However, 7 days would worry me. Home is a bit far away from the combine. Yeah. Well, what's interesting? Ever since I've eaten it, now maybe it's mental, but all of a sudden I feel like my stomach is a little off. So this might not be a good end of the show. We'll see. But I've never had food poisoning. Knock on wood. But I do have my wife. We went to a restaurant not a restaurant, like a place, and got something, whatever. And she got real bad food poisoning. And I had gut rot, but I wasn't throwing up. I was I was tired and stuff, but wasn't impacted as much as her. So I've always, I think, had better guts than some just have it, right? But so I don't know, maybe that's why I feel like I can last a little bit longer. But a lot of people guys, 4 days in the fridge, anything longer, suicidal. Hey guys, if soup is properly sealed and refrigerated, chicken or beef, there's no problem eating it up to 10 days later. Just give it the smell test from Sean. That's kind of what I think. If it looks good and it smells good, it must be good.
Yeah, for me, it's when I make something, I try to get rid of it as quick as possible. 4 days would be even too much for me. 3 days, try to get rid of it before that.
Now this one, hey guys, 4 to 8 days is an older generation approach. Our parents and grandparents were more resourceful and less likely to waste. Smelling bad was the old measuring stick. Nowadays, I'm more of a 3 to 5 day guy, mostly because I've seen a lot of information on how much your food doesn't have any nutrition left. The more it sits and the more it's reheated. And mostly just filling you up at that point. I also have a Croatian buddy who says they don't believe in leftovers. I grew up in an African house. There's no such thing as not believing in leftovers. But the European stance is more about just eating food as its freshest point. I did enjoy that aspect of German breakfast. I love leftovers. We used to make enough. When I was a single guy, I made a lot of food so I could have it all week. I don't want to cook every day. Now, I would only warm it up once. And nowadays, when you put something back in the I'd microwave this, but a lot of times now I'll just reheat it right on the counter in our little grill. It's awesome. But I didn't know that because I wouldn't reheat soup up over and over again. You pour out what you're going to eat, put that and warm it up, and then away you go. So, Hey, Gregor, 7 days all day. Don't believe the 2 to 3 day people. Same group claiming pink salt expires even though it was formed 2 million years ago. See, now we're getting into the real minutia of this. Guys, smell test, not a good approach. Although this coming from a guy with a paper bag belly, husks. Well, what's wrong with the smell approach? Because usually if it's gone bad, doesn't it reek? Like I've had chicken go bad and you just like it's instant throw up in your mouth.
Soup could be tough though. You got some spices in there, like could throw off the sniffer.
Yeah, maybe.
It's not milk.
All right. Hey guys, leftover lasagna or chili gets better as it marinates. Team. Well, I would agree with that. But again, for how long? So I'd say right now it's kind of 50-50. Lots of you are on 3 to 4 days old. The week old, Gregor, get some Imodium. God, I hope not. That'd be a fail on my part. Yeah. What'd you do with the pro? I didn't make it to the preseason game tonight. Not good. Not good at all. Hey, let's hear from Leon Drysdale quickly. Some thoughts on his buddy signed a contract yesterday. Of course, Mr. Podkolzin, as we get to the oil report brought to you by Volvo Cars Edmonton, the 2026 brand new XC90 is here. And oh, baby. You didn't think it'd get better on that vehicle? Well, they did. Test drive one today, VolvoCarsEdmonton.com. And Leon Drysdale, pretty happy that his line mate, well, at least not right now, but last season, Vasily Podkolzin gets rewarded with a 3-year extension.
Yeah, extremely happy. There's no guy that deserves it more than him. He's the ultimate pro. Such a great teammate. He'd do anything for this group. So he deserves it, and I think we're all extremely happy to have him.
And the thing about Podkolzin, really young player, right? Like he's 24 years of age. Lots of upside left, according to his associate cap.
Oh yeah, I see a lot of upside in him. He's really smart, bright hockey mind. He really understands the game, and obviously with his work ethic, it's just a matter of time, I think, until it all kind of clicks, right? You could see it a little bit last year, but I think year by year, you're going to see more and more on the offensive side of things as well. So I think there's a lot of upside, and I got all the confidence in the world that he'll show it.
Now, tonight, Trent Frederick will play with Drysdale and McDavid. And really last year, the Oilers, they didn't get Trent Frederick. They got an injured Trent Frederick who gutted it out through a high ankle sprain. What's the biggest difference Drysdale has seen from a healthy Frederick?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he feels a lot better. I will say, though, with that specific injury, that it takes a long time. You got to give him time. You got to give him time into the season as well, because that's an injury that certainly lingers around for a while. So it's just kind of nagging at you. So he looks good, I think. Obviously, I'm sure he feels a lot more confident and comfortable within himself. So looking forward to what he can bring to the group.
And then he was asked, does he see similarities in the style of play between Hyman and Frederick?
I would say they're different players. They're very different players. But I think, with history with Freddie, he scored 18 goals 2 years in a row and probably more of a third line role. That's pretty impressive. So he certainly has a lot of skill. He was a first round pick. He's tough as nails, and I think that's certainly a guy that's willing to learn how to play a certain way to be successful. And if we can help him, become more productive and become more successful, then of course we're going to do that.
And his thoughts, him and McDavid, according to head coach, they're going to start the season together. What does he think?
Guys, we've done this 10 years, 11 years. It's going to switch. It's going to go back and forth. I do think it's probably easier to coach for him when we're together, to coach the bench. But I think we've done this for so long. We know exactly how to flip-flop back and forth, and if we're together or apart. So yeah, obviously always excited to play with him. Always, it's a pleasure to be on the same line as him. So we'll see where it goes.
And lastly, I'm going to love this answer. I haven't heard it. I did not want to hear it until I could hear it with you. Someone asked Drysdale what it feels like coming into the season as the highest paid player in the NHL.
Well, I mean, it's obviously an honor. It's nothing that I think about. I put more pressure on myself than the contract ever could, or any dollar ever could. So obviously, I take great pride in doing what I do and becoming better, and the consistency part of it. So don't try to think about the number too much. Just try to, play my game and get better in little areas.
Yeah, I didn't. You're not, when you don't come into the league being like, I'm a $14 million player now. You can't be wired that way. It's because it's not going to work good or bad, right? Like if you have a goal that says, hey, you know what, I want to reach this, but you can never guarantee. Now, hey, the more points you get, usually the higher salary you get, right? It goes hand in hand. So I've talked to I've never heard a player tell me like my goal was to get blank salary, right? Your goal sometimes is I had a goal to get this many points, because now with that points comes an increased salary. So it kind of goes hand in hand without actually saying it. When we return, Dave McCarthy joins us. It's the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Yeah, can I get
yes. A common reaction from a veggie lover. Always scanning, searching, longing. But wait, what is this we see? The new McVeggie, now at McDonald's.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
At Fountain Tire, you can save $50 off tire storage with the purchase of 4 select tires now until September 30th at participating locations. Okay. Or you could squeeze them into your backseat, possibly causing upholstery damage, drive them home, struggle, sweating buckets trying to get them out of your vehicle, resulting in you feeling guilty for not going to the gym more often, or at all. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. Totally up to you.
Definitely $50 off the tire storage.
You got it. Book your appointment today at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
When you get into a new Tundra, you might find yourself hauling ATVs into the great outdoors, even if your last outdoor experience was a backyard barbecue. Because with this much towing capability, fun gets a serious upgrade. All that's left to do is drive it home. Get in and go right now at Toyota, where you can lease a 2025 Tundra 4x4 double cab SR5 from $154 weekly for 60 months at 5.39% with $7,999 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca for your local Prairie Toyota dealer today.
It's happened again, and construction season is in full swing. Job delayed, money lost, and clients disappointed because your rigging failed and it wasn't inspected. Don't let this happen to you. Have your lifting slings, fittings, hoisting tools, and safety harnesses checked with Titan Supply. Titan Supply offers certified on-site and in-house rigging inspections and service, so they can repair it, replace it, and recertify it. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Get the Gregor special. Enjoy 20% off any regular menu price order. Enter promo code Gregor at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
326 I want to say this very quickly before the kids are out of school, because I got a note that the Teachers Employer Bargaining Association, which is, I think, TIBA, and the Alberta Teachers Association, the ATA, have reached a tentative agreement. And now the next step is the negotiation process to go through a ratification. And if they do that, then it looks like a strike will be averted. I know, parents, families probably happy. Some of the kids, especially the younger age kids, like, think about it. You're in grade 5, 6, 9, 10. Now, even if you love school, you're probably just like, oh, I get out of school for a week or two. Great. I can tell you, I know a certain 11-year-old that was, because he doesn't understand the bigger thing, right? He just thinks about it as a kid. It's like, I don't have to go to school. And he doesn't mind school. But so you might, it's not official because they got to do the ratification, but they got a tentative agreement. So for those parents who obviously can be stressful for some, if you're trying to plan what to have, to go around, especially for families to have both parents working. So that potential looks like they're on the path to good news. Now, I guess the ratification could go sideways, so it's not official, but tentative agreement has been reached. So there you have it. Let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by the Spruce Grove Saints, back in action on Friday night. Get your tickets, sgsaints.ca. If you were unable to get into the sold-out home opener last Friday and you want to see the new arena, the Thompson Family Arena, check it out and get your tickets, sgsaints.ca. As we welcome back to the show from the NHL Network, as well as Sirius XM, host of the brunch, also host of Ice Caps, Dave A. McCarthy. Dave, how you doing?
I'm good. Education. Hey, you got that settled or what? I didn't even know there was something going on in the great province of Alberta.
There was it would have been potential if it's diverted. There was going to be a strike on October 6th that had obviously young kids excited and
no kidding.
Parents maybe not so much excited. So, so that might be 1 for the parents and 0 for the kids.
Did you sit your son down and explain the collective bargaining process to him?
No, he didn't. As any good 11-year-old, he was just like, so Dad, is there a strike, does that mean I don't go to school? Yes. Well, then I want to strike.
I mean,
pretty much, like when you're 11, you're not supposed to think, and you don't need to get in the minutia of anything else. And God, he probably would care more about the collective bargaining agreement of the NHL than he would the Teachers Association. No offense to the teachers, but that's just probably how it is. And I don't even know enough about it in depth. When it comes, like, I can barely, and I've been studying for 10 years and there's still always tweaks to the CBA that I have to refresh my memory on. So I wouldn't even venture to try what would be going on there. I just hope they get a fair deal. I'm one who is very much a supporter of teachers, especially the ones that are committed. And I think most of them are very committed. It's an extremely tough job. And one that, like, there are certain jobs where you're just like, you know what? I have the skill to do, I think maybe, but I wouldn't want to do it.
Well, you'd be a great teacher, Jason.
My mom was a teacher. My sister, my sister-in-law, cousins, lots of people. And I just look and say, like, I coach, which is teaching in a different way.
Yeah,
but it's not every day for 6 hours a day, right?
I know.
So it's and I'm coaching sports where the kids, like, they come to practice super pumped, right? Like, not every day everybody in your classroom is super pumped. Right?
That's easy. You want your kids to be super pumped when you're coaching. When you're teaching, it's like, okay, now we got to bring that down from 12 to 2, and we all have to sit quietly at our desks. And now we're going to read from the textbook. Like, that's a different skill set to continue to maintain the interest there amongst a group of 9-year-olds. If you're coaching 9-year-olds hockey, you want them showing up, bouncing off the wall. It's like, all right, I got some gamers here. Teaching, oh my God, I have so much respect for what these great men and women do. It is, I don't know how they do it, to be honest with you. It's a very, very daunting task.
Dave, we're having a question, and we'll get to hockey stuff. Leftovers in the fridge, have hamburger soup. It's sealed properly.
Yeah.
Connor and them say 3 to 4 days. I'm a week. I just tried it. Now I'm leery of doing it because it smells fine.
Yeah.
What's your timeline for leftover hamburger soup sealed properly in the fridge?
So like hamburger soup, we're talking like ground beef in soup?
Yeah, ground beef, and then I got some peas and some carrots and and then some sauce mixed in. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say
of it, Dave, right there. See that? There's
I
that.
got you. Yeah, that looks pretty
Yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah.
I would say a week might be pushing a little bit. Depends on how properly it's been refrigerated. Has it
It's
been
been
in and out?
refrigerated right from the get-go, sealed. I take
Yeah.
it out. We've eaten it a few times because we make a lot. So
I
I forgot it. That's the problem. Usually
Yeah.
I love it. I just kind of forgot it, but I was like, oh, it's only last week. I can eat this.
Now, look, I hate to waste food. It really bothers me when I have to throw food out.
Yes.
But in saying that, my bar is also at the level of how much am I willing to risk being sick for this? And I can't get there. So like 3 to 4 days, you're laughing. 5 days, you have a look, you don't see any indeterminate bodies growing, then you should be okay. 6-7 days, I think you're rolling the dice a little bit. For what's left in that Tupperware, Jason, it's not worth not being able to see you do your radio show for 3 to 4 days.
Yeah, well, maybe. I've never had food poisoning, knock on wood, so I don't know. Dave, let's the Justin Wall situation, how long do you expect him to be away?
Unclear at this point. Look, Brad Treliving offered the announcement yesterday, completely out of nowhere. Like I was literally walking into the practice rink at 10 o'clock for the start of the practice, and the PR guy, Chris, caught me, and I never even broke stride, and I just walked right down to the back where we do the media availability. He said, Tree's got an update. We're like, oh, okay. And so Tree said what he had to say, which was more or less along the lines of what they put out in the official statement. And I think everybody showed a great deal of respect for Joe's privacy, as Brad asked for, and there's no reason not to respect Joe's privacy. Everybody's got a lot of respect for Joe Wall, who covers the team. He's a really good guy, and Brad pointed out, it actually pisses me off that I need to go through this point by point, because if you can believe it, what I tweeted out yesterday, people got mad at me and got in my mentions and were telling us that we're gutter scourge. Like, we need to stop this. So I was going at it with people on Twitter yesterday because it's like, okay, that's what you think. Here's what actually happened. And then someone responded, why are you crying in my mentions, man? I'm like, no, I thought you'd be interested in the truth so you can stop spreading your bull. Apparently not. Am I a little pissed? Yeah, a little bit about this. But anyway, the point being is that Brad offered voluntarily that it is nothing to do with substance issues. And so that, as I always say, in the absence of information, in a vacuum, people will make up their own things. And clearly Brad wanted to make sure that not us in the media, people online on Twitter didn't start up with the theories. So that's not the issue. And now out of respect to Joe, I haven't even poked tires on it. I haven't looked into it. We'll see. There's still 2 weeks before the regular season begins.
Death in the family. It could be anything.
Could be anything. Personal family matter is what it was termed. We weren't given a timeline. So all I can say is we wish him the best. Still 2 weeks before the season, even if he needs to miss another 2 weeks after that. Anthony Stolar is a very capable goalie. Dennis Hildeby is a very capable guy at taking a game or two. There's lots of time. I'd say we'll revisit this in a month if there's no update. But at this point, I have nothing better than that. And quite frankly, I think it's the right thing to say. I don't want to kick tires on this because I don't think it's necessary at this point.
Okay. Looking at the Leafs, now that you've had some time, it's Mitch Marner, a new era without Mitch Marner. And they really haven't replaced him with one player. I saw people say, Michelli and all these other guys and Roy. Yeah, it's true that they've replaced quantity with quality is essentially. Now, you don't know because they haven't played. What's your gut tell you? Are they better going the quantity, right, over one quality player? What do you think?
I like what they've done. And what will happen this year is their lineup. Craig Berube is going to be deploying his lineup differently. last year with Matthews and Marner, that line took on a lot of not only the heavy offensive assignments, but the heavy defensive assignments as well, because Matthews and Marner are quite reliable defensively. The fact that Marner walks out the door, as was his right, there really wasn't a guy available that you could just take one out and drop another guy in, and you're off to the races to the same extent. Guys like Mitch Marner do not grow on trees. So I don't think that was really an option to go out and replace him with a one singular player of similar quality. There wasn't much movement at all in the offseason. And I think a lot of that was because there weren't a lot of guys that, were worth making that kind of a move to go out and acquire. So what they've done is they've gone out and they added Nick Waugh. He's a big man. I can't say that I recall having had the opportunity to speak to Nick Waugh prior to last week or so. He's a big man. Ditto for Dakota Joshua. Big man. Didn't realize how big those guys were. And what Craig Berube has been talking about in camp is that he wants to really finally establish a third line that can take on heavy defensive minutes. So what we're going to end up seeing is that line, once he arrives at it, which looks like it's going to be Waugh and Joshua, maybe it's a Domi, maybe it's a Bobby McMahon, maybe it's a Nick Robertson, we'll see. But at least two guys that they're really comfortable with putting up against other teams' best lines in the defensive zone to start. What that will end up doing is freeing up Austin Matthews and Matt Nyes to start more shifts in the offensive zone when they can really put the screws to their opponent when they're in a tight spot, icing the puck, all that type of stuff. Really, really hammer them that way. That's, I think, how the Leafs are going to go about trying to approach this season. Their lineup will be deployed differently because they have to. There are different ways to win in the league, and the Leafs know that they're going to have to try to find a new one, just simply because there is not that guy that they could put on that. Like, they don't trust Michelli, obviously, to be a guy that can be on the ice with other teams' top players in those type of situations that they use Marner. So they're going to try to do a little bit differently. But what they've done is added size and some defensive acumen and the ability to free Matthews up to really let him go to work and do what he does best, which at times they weren't really able to do last year because that third line was, quite honestly, a constant search for some level of reliability, which I don't really even know if they found by the end of the season.
Dave McCarthy joins us. Dave, there's, we're getting closer, cuts starting. I think probably later this week, might see some of the first guys placed on waivers, and there will be some interesting decisions by teams. There always is some years, and, one or two guys get claimed on waivers and some of them turn out, and then some of them get put back on waivers, in the next few days. It happens. But when you look at the storylines in the Eastern Conference specifically, give me two teams you're most interested in this coming season and why.
That's good. There's a bunch of teams that I'm quite interested in. Number one would be the New York Rangers in the Metro Division, just simply because last year I think they fell. I think they fell victim to self-sabotage to an extent. Remember, they started out in October really, really well last year. They were off and running. And then the Jacob Trouba stuff came to light, and then, it became just heaven and earth to get him out the door. And then the whole season spiraled out of control. Then it was like, is Chris Kreider on the move? And it was a real issue. Then it seemed like a lot of apathy set in, which did not sit well in New York. And I think that's part of the reason, number one, why they reacquired JT Miller, and two, why they named him captain. That's red meat to an angry fan base that was pissed with what they saw out of their team last year, that the year prior went on a deep playoff run to the third round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. They were expecting better last year, and the whole season caved in. What JT Miller will give you is something that, a passionate New York fan base can really get behind. He's a rah-rah, in-your-face, kind of F-you type player. And, that's what people in New York like, right? Like that flies there. It'll be interesting to see, though, if that works as well in reality as it might be attempted to work in theory. In other words, I was talking to somebody last week who is very familiar with JT Miller and says at times he can wear on guys. And, the first couple of times, okay, everyone gets behind him, the captain's speaking up. But then when it's day after day after day after day, certain guys can kind of be like, all right, brother. And then we'll see what happens. Do things go sideways in New York? I think they've got a team that can be a competitive team. They need more out of a lot of guys. They need some guys to have better years than they did last year. Adam Fox was not nearly good enough. Mika Zibanejad, not nearly good enough last year. So we'll see. I think I'm interested in the Rangers because they could go one of two ways, right? They could be a competitive team, or I could see it caving in yet again. I guess I'd pick one from the other division. Like I'm really excited about the Montreal Canadiens. I really am. I think Ivan Demidov is going to be a guy that we've seen. He's kind of like the Loch Ness Monster in terms of the YouTube clips of his elite skill set that, we've seen, but we've barely seen him at the NHL level outside of the odd practice here or there. And he looks good. What can he do over 82 games? Can he really add yet another dangerous dynamic consistently to that lineup? That's going to be interesting. My concern there, and we've talked about in the past, is their back end. Do they have enough mean, nasty characters back there? But I would look at Montreal as a team that would be really disappointed if they don't make the playoffs again this year. And I think they've got a chance to be a team that could potentially sneak into a top 3 spot in the Atlantic Division, because I really like the direction in which they're going.
Dave, do you think Hildeby is ready to be a backup in the NHL?
For a period of time, yeah. Like he played good. He played good last night. He is a guy that was talking yesterday about the need to refine his movements in the net. He's gigantic, right? Like he's 6'7", and I don't know if that's the truth. He might be more like 6'8". Then you put him on skates, and he's touching 7. Like he's a gigantic man. And what the issue with a lot of young goalies is that when they come into the league, there's a lot of activity in their game, a lot of frenetic movements. Like even think Marc-Andre Fleury when he came into the league, not nearly as big a guy, but you think how active he was in the net compared to where his game was at the end of his career. And I think that's the process that Dennis Hildeby is going through right now, learning that at the NHL level, even at the NHL level, you're still like 6'9" on skates. You don't have to be as active in the net if you can be efficient in the net. Compared to a guy like UC Saros, who needs to have that kind of fighter's mentality, because he's like a foot shorter, quite honestly. And so he doesn't cover as much of the net. He needs to be more aggressive. Hildeby, I think, has a lot of potential. He was aggressive at times last year, and that got him caught, right? And when you've got a guy that's going to be that active and that aggressive in the net, and you're going up against NHL shooters, they can exploit that. Get that guy moving, you'll slide right out of the net, it'll be easy. He's looked good in camp in terms of the refinement in his movements, and I think if he can continue down that road, I do think he's a guy that they're certainly comfortable with as a number 3, which is why they didn't go out and acquire another goalie in the offseason. But I think getting to be a guy that they would be comfortable, playing 20 to 25 games a year.
Davey, we will be very close to the start of the regular season next week. We'll probably have some debates on players as teams get close to final cut. So it's a fun time. We'll discuss it then. Let's quickly give me the temperature in Toronto. How are Jays fans?
Oh, yeah. I guess a little concerned because they had a chance to clinch there, and then Then they lost like 20-1 or whatever it was. And then they lost like 3 or 4 in a row. And now they clinched. So I think people are feeling confident, but we'll see. I still don't see this team as a World Series contender. I still think there's an element of, I can't believe they're even in the position they're in. And so look, to me, the expectations are low because no one came into the year expecting much. I think they've already exceeded them. So I think to an extent, people are just quite honestly happy to be along for the ride, and we'll see what they're able to do because it's offering a lot more excitement than anybody was expecting out of the Blue Jays in April, put it that way.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, it'll be a fun final week here. They got to get some wins and be a nervous but excited crowd tonight with Scherzer on the mound. Enjoy it, Davey, and we'll talk to you next week.
See you, buddy.
There you go. That is Dave McCarthy from Sirius XM. And yes, what about the Cleveland Guardians? They just continue to roll as they defeat Detroit last night. And now they're tied with Detroit, but they have tiebreaker. So Cleveland currently sitting in third in the Central Division. 5 games to go. They could set the MLB record for largest deficit. It was 15.5 games at one point to overcome it and win. And they would have they have made up 15.5 games in their last 67 games. That's hard to do. That is really hard to do. They are rolling. Meanwhile, Detroit is floundering. And can they get it back on the rails? We'll see. Because not only could they lose the division, they might fall right out of the playoffs. That would be brutal. Brutal for Detroit. Quick break. We'll return. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. We got Cam Tate in the 2-minute warning.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better and on the rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. Pre-game warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops. Get 69-cent wings and $5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light drafts, and play score and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action this hockey season. See the menu online at ontherocksyeg.com.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at Cantork.com.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, till the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a new from Legacy. Oh, yeah. Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
While the players gear up for the new season, make sure you gear up your snack game with Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
Okay, this jumbo bag of beef jerky should last the preseason.
Whoa. Will Hawk has more than just beef jerky. There's smoked sausage and pepperoni products, too.
Well, how about we have jerky for Eastern opponents and pepperoni sticks when we face the Western teams?
Now that sounds like a Will Hockey game plan.
Will Hawk Beef Jerky, because you don't win games with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Ah, Hawaii. The warmth of a golden sunset as the waves roll in. The freshness of a waterfall. The lush scent of tropical flowers in the air. You don't need to travel to enjoy all Hawaii has to offer. You just need to order pizza. Bring Hawaii home with the Aloha Trio, available for a limited time at Papa John's. Try our classic Hawaiian, super Hawaiian, or Hawaiian barbecue chicken for just $19.99 each. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
When you get into a new Tacoma, you might suddenly find yourself expertly tackling bumps and boulders on backwood trails with a confidence you just didn't have during pothole season. All that's left to do is drive it home. Get in and go right now at Toyota, where you can lease a 2025 Tacoma 4x4 double cab SR5 from $115 weekly for 60 months at 6.79% with $7,699 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Prairie Toyota dealer today.
1, 2, 3, up.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money. Support Canada at cantork.com.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, as well as our YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, as well as Oilers Nation. We love it. We appreciate it. Thanks so much for taking some time out of your day. Good news, hockey fans. You're getting closer. Today is the midway point of the preseason for the Oilers. This will be game number 4. Tonight, they have 4 remaining. They play Friday night at home, Sunday night at home, and then they're on the road next Wednesday in Seattle and next Friday in Vancouver. Keep in mind, for those of you that are interested, the games on television will be this Sunday and next Friday, as those games are broadcast on Sportsnet. They're the Vancouver broadcast, but Sportsnet is the national broadcaster, so that they pick them up. It's the same every year. And tonight's game is not on television unless you have the NHL Network. Then you can get it. Now, you can stream it online, of course, Oilers Plus, or maybe you'll be going. We actually have a pair of seats to send you to the game coming up in the next hour if you would like to go. So there you have it. Now, let's get to the 2-minute warning brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. Overtime, weekend work, you need it fixed, they'll do it. No extra cost. That's how you'll build a legacy at legacyheating.ca. Cam Tate, of course, longtime journalist in town. Cam has cerebral palsy. He's in a wheelchair. He's always wanted to be in radio. His disability didn't allow him until now. Through the wonders of technology, Cam's words come to life in the 2-minute warning.
We are, by all accounts, bombarded, immersed, saturated, nay, overwhelmed. And you, my friend, are invited to pick your own adjective from that veritable smorgasbord of descriptors with the ongoing, interminable, and frankly, rather tiresome saga of Connor McDavid. It is, to borrow a phrase, a veritable soap opera, a dramatic production one might title The Young and the Undecided. The captain of our beloved Oilers, in the final year of his contractual obligations, has yet to affix his signature to an extension. And while I, last week, ventured to suggest that this particular narrative would remain largely unwritten until such a time as an Oilers press conference, replete with all the attendant pomp and circumstance, declared his future, be it with Edmonton, or, God forbid, without Edmonton, I must now concede a reporter's fundamental, indeed sacred duty to ask questions when the scent of a story, however faint, wafts through the air. And so it is to this very question that I now turn. Tonight, the Oilers, your Oilers, face the Seattle Kraken. And tonight, Connor McDavid, the man himself, makes his inaugural preseason appearance. Given then the palpable uncertainty, the lingering doubt, the very suspense surrounding McDavid's future, I pose this. When his stick first touches that puck, will the faithful roar with a cheer, a collective plea of Connor, please, we implore you, stay in Edmonton? Or will a chorus of boos erupt, a guttural cry of Connor, this agonizing suspense, this keeping Edmonton on edge? It simply isn't fair. The answer, my friend, speaks volumes. The 2-minute warning weekdays. Gregor, Halley, Tate. Sports, 1440.
What do you think, Con man?
Oh, I don't think there's any chance anything but a cheer. Connor McDavid will get a loud applause from the team. I don't know. I mean, I guess there's some people that are going to stress this, but it's business. I think it's going to get done. I don't think we have to worry about it. I don't get too upset about it. I think it's going to get done at some point here. And hey, just let them know you love them. I think that's all you have to do. And I think he knows that from the Oilers faithful.
Yeah, I don't. I think most fans are. Can they be a little nervous at times? Yes, but I'll be honest. I don't think we've had a question about Connor right now. I know someone's going to be a funny guy or funny girl and send one right now, but I think most people understand it. I have an article coming out tomorrow about free agency and everything. The pending free agents, and I think people will be surprised. Like, there's a lot of them. It's not. I know Connor McDavid's like the brightest star, so I understand that, but there's some other pretty bright ones. Kaprizov, Kyle Connor, Panarin, go down the list. And then there's actually some other like really good players who could be great additions to a team at not a very big cost, at least cap wise. The cost will be, what do you have to give up to do it? So it will be, it'll be very interesting to see where it goes. I still believe a contract will occur between Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. Just a matter of when it'll happen. So I still think the term, now I could be wrong. I think it'll probably be, more towards 3-4 years than it would be to 7 or 8, but you never know. Coming up after the Sports 1440 update, we got Yaremchuk, we got Spec. We'll hear from Chris Knobloch. The Seattle Kraken are in town. Also, we got to talk some baseball, man. This is a great week for baseball. Like, look at the races in both the AL and the NL. Also, we got more text about the CFL. There was obviously all the talk about the rule changes that will be wheeled in over next season and the following year. You're seeing more players. Like, I know Nathan Rourke, and hey, he was passionate. I think he was misguided when he talked about how, oh man, I love telling everybody about how different it is, and the waggle and 12 men on the field and yard off the ball. And we're like, yeah, that stuff's all still there. None of that's gone. Right. And if you're going to miss the missed field goals, I can totally understand that. That can be an exciting play. There's no doubt about that. But they're not that prevalent. So they're there. Could you still see one on long field goal attempts? Sure. Because if it comes up short, you can return the field goal. You just won't have as many opportunities to do it. This year, there's been 33 missed field goal returns and 20 times the guy took the knee. So then there's been 33 other ones. And only 14 of them were, and I say 30 yards because if you take a knee, you get a 35-yard line. So I'm like, well, how many are more than 35 yards? And it's been 12. And then there was 3 returned for touchdowns. So, those are 3 plays, but 3 times in 62 games. So yes, it's exciting. I just don't think it's going to crush the league by not having it. I don't think the league is suddenly going to be that less entertaining. Right? If anything, they are hoping that the new rule changes lead to more offense. That's the theory behind it. Now, some believe it won't happen, and that the same people felt that the NFL would be unwatchable because they were changing the defense rules, and it would just be too easy to score. Well, we don't hear that anymore. Right? People complain about baseball was unfair. You had pitchers who didn't like it. Now, does anybody talk about it? No, they just adapt. And because you're not changing the real heart and fabric of the game in the CFL. The field is still wider. There's still 12 men on the field. It's still 3 downs. There's still a yard off the ball. There's still a waggle. There's still the ability to return punts. There's no fair catch. Right? Like, those are the real nuts and bolts, I think, of the CFL. And the Rouge is still there, albeit in a reduced role. But I just don't see how anyone can be that attached to the Rouge. Like, I don't get it. It's one play, and if you miss it, you're rewarding failure. Like, you can win a game on not kicking it through the uprights. Just kick it through the end zone, which is like, anybody can do that. It's not hard. So I honestly, I think when it's all said and done in a few seasons, people will look back and be like, oh, geez. Like I saw some people even complaining about the benches. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Edmonton's are already on the opposite side. They're trying to have continuity. Right? You have, penalty boxes on the opposite side in hockey than the benches, right? They change this just to make it say, this is what we want. So you do it. And I actually think the bench on a separate side is better for the game because now you don't have to sprint opposite diagonal if your team on the south side, and then on the north side is where your defense is deep, and now you got to try to make a substitution. So it'll be better. I firmly believe, Cons, it'll be better overall. I think it's now. I know I've had some people say they're just going to punt more. And I'll say this about this. If the coaches decide to punt more, like they're already punting from the 50, but if you get to the 35-yard line or even the 40 and you're going to punt and now your punter, you know what? Let's say the ball bounces and the guy's like, yeah, we'll let it go and through the end zone, out of the end zone. You don't get a point and you give it a 35-yard line. You're going to really have to trust your punter. Because if I'm a return guy and I'm standing on the 1-yard line, I'm going to let that bounce all day long, Cons. Right? I'm at the 5-yard line. I'm going to let it bounce all day long. Pretty good chance that'll bounce into the end zone and maybe out. And if not, well, then I give up a point. So what? Because we've given up points for years. Not going to crush you to do it. But that's how, like, you're going to need your punter to be pretty damn accurate all the time on pooch kicks. Because there's no fair catch rule. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. Need tires, but your wallet isn't ready? Well, at Fountain Tires, they've got you covered with 0% financing for 6 months or easy equal payments over 12 months, but with no interest because road ready means wallet ready. Find out more, fountaintire.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day, the Edmonton Oilers in action tonight, taking on the Seattle Kraken. Puck drop just after 7 o'clock down at Rogers Place. Other preseason action includes Panthers, Canes, Jackets, Penguins, Kings, and Anaheim, and the Canucks host the Calgary Flames. Toronto Blue Jays confirming the signing of 18-year-old Korean pitcher Moon Seung-hoon. Moon turned down offers from the Dodgers and the Mets to sign a 1-year deal with Toronto and was expected to be a top 3 pick in this month's KBO draft. Jays are in action tonight, taking on the Red Sox once again. First pitch just after 5 o'clock. You'll have the Yankees and the White Sox, Marlins and Philly. Reds host the Pirates, Mets up against the Cubbies. Mariners host the Rockies, the Dodgers in the desert taking on the Diamondbacks, and the Giants welcome the Cards to San Fran. Earlier today, Nationals get past the Braves 4-3. Right now, Brewers, Padres tied at 1 apiece. And in Cleveland, Tigers, Guardians waiting for a little bit of a rain delay. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we will be joined by Tyler Yaremchuk of Oilers Nation and ask 5 questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Work never gets done by standing around. You have to put your words into action. And that's exactly what GS Construction does every single day. Our priorities are safety first, quality second, efficiency third.
310.
GS Construction works hard. It's true.
Welcome back,
but
Jason
first
Gregor.
comes the care, the planning, and the people. Underground infrastructure isn't just about machines and trenches and some traffic inconveniences. It's about doing things right. Find out more on what we do. Visit
Quickly, before the kids are out of
I'm
school.
a little hungry.
Because I got a note.
From Booster Juice.
Booster what now?
Booster Balls. They're little protein bites packed with nutrients. Chewy, crunchy, yummy, and new flavors all the time. Like this little guy. The new mint chocolate Booster Ball. Peppermint, cocoa, coconut, peanut butter, maple syrup, all rolled up into a delightful little bite-sized snack.
Why am I just hearing about this now?
I don't know.
Can I have one?
No.
Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we believe that life shouldn't hurt. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't know that sometimes it really hurts. I mean, we've seen people at their worst moments in life, when they feel they have nowhere to turn, or at a time when they felt like their problem just wouldn't ever go away. We've also seen people who thought to themselves, it'll just go away on its own, or this is no big deal. I don't want to bother anyone about this. Don't know where to turn to, or think it's no big deal? Either way, we have the technology, techniques, and skills to help you get back to it, whatever your it may be. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
At Fountain Tire, we're fluent in saving you money.
Fluent?
Yes, we've mastered the language of deals. Like right now, you can save up to 25% off select tires and up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires. Plus, $50 off $150 service when you buy those tires. All until October 18th.
I'm sorry, I don't speak deals.
Spend less, save more when you buy round black things from us.
Oh, got it.
Restrictions apply. Book your appointment online today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
God said, I need somebody to get up before dawn, milk cows, work all day in the fields, milk cows again, eat supper, go to town, and stay all night at a meeting of the school board. So God made a farmer.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We are so thankful God made a farmer. For the month of September, it is our goal to feed 500 families. With every vehicle sold, we will feed a family of 4. So please help us reach our goal. Visit us online at northgategm.com.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks, ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design, build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
October 24th and 25th, hit the courts for Feisty Pickles, the first ever 24 hours of continuous pickleball action. Starts Friday night at Brace Athletics in St. Albert. It puts the fun in fundraising for Breathing Space, a groundbreaking lung transplant house. Recruit your team of 4 to 20 players and get your paddles ready to play. Feisty Pickles, Alberta Lungs 24-hour pickleball challenge. Register by October 15th at ablung.ca.
Sure, your couch is comfortable, but watching the game is always better and on the rocks. With crystal clear TVs, you won't miss a single play, and the specials are a major league win. Pre-game warm-up starts with specials 30 minutes before the puck drops. Get 69-cent wings and $5.75 Molson Canadian and Coors Light drafts. And play score and win every game for your chance to win big. Be part of the action this hockey season. See the menu online at ontherocks.yeg.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio, from weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Hat-tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 4 o'clock, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley with you. Lovely Wednesday afternoon. 833-401-1440. I will say, I don't know if we've ever asked a question on the show that had such a wide range of different viewpoints, which is great because I think it depends on the person. Maybe it depends on your storing skills. Maybe it depends on your gut strength. Maybe it just depends on your own will to live on the edge. Or in some cases, maybe be stupid. It all depends on how you look at it. We were joking about how long you would store hamburger soup and then eat it. Cons and Declan's like 3 or 4 days. I was like, I think it'd been a week before. So, and that's what I did today. And so far, here we are, Cons. 2.5 hours into the show. Just under, but no issues. I don't know if there was something wrong, how quickly it would appear. But so far, all good.
Just along the same kind of vein, like, something expires in your fridge. Let's say mustard, ketchup, something like that.
Mustard and ketchup have expiry dates?
I think it's best before. We touched on it last week, actually, coincidentally. Are you someone who cares about that kind of thing, or follow along?
Best before date's a guideline, like yogurt.
Yeah.
Cottage cheese.
Eggs.
To me, it's kind of a guideline. I don't Well, I eat yogurt pretty consistently, so I never really have to worry about it. There's not many things that get close to the expiry date. Like I do when you go to buy milk, I look at this because I'm like, okay, how long does it take me to have a 2 liter of milk? Okay, not going to take it, right? Like even if you want to get some of the prepackaged fruit now, right? It's cut up. Oh, this is on this day, and they say it's good for 4 days. I'm like, all right, like it's fruit, like it's not going to go rotten. It just doesn't. It kind of goes soft. And you're like, I don't really want the chewiness of it, but I am cognizant of milk for sure because it goes bad, like it curdles, it stinks. It's like it is blatant. Like you can tell right away when it turns. I would it never. So but I don't like mustard or ketchup. Like I've never even thought about looking at expiry date on that. But I also we don't have like big ones of either one. So I don't think but like mustard, I can't imagine mustard going bad. Like it'd probably have to be there for years, I would think. Like pickle jar at the back of your fridge. Like there's some things probably in the back of everyone's fridge that you're like, you go to clean the fridge after a few months. What is this? So it happens. But I don't think I've ever even looked at an expiry date for ketchup or mustard, to be honest.
I can't say ketchup. I know we actually switched my parents' mustard. We bought a 2-pack from Costco. Theirs had expired a long time ago. We're like, let's just subtly switch this.
All right.
Keep it fresh, But I don't think, we would have that mustard once a week. We'd go there, and it was fine. So I'm not in a huge rush for that thing. But yeah, when I make fresh food, like 3 days tops.
All right. Do we have Chris Knobloch? Yeah, we do. Let's actually, you know what? Let's get to, we'll get to Chris Knobloch, head coach of the Edmonton Oilers, to go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. They are hiring 2nd, 3rd, and 4th year electricians. Send your resume, careers at actionelectrical.net. Fantastic company to work for. They're expanding, one of the most diversified electrical contractors in the province, and they have lots of guys who 2nd, 3rd, 4th years, and they're journeymen. They just keep working. They have lots of great bonus structure and more. So check it out. And huge sports fans. Now, the sporting ability, that's debatable, but really good sports fans. Action Electrical. As Chris Knobloch, he was asked about, does it get to the point now? This is, it's his 3rd year in a sense, but his 2nd training camp. Is he talking to individual veterans about how much they play, or is it essentially up to him?
Last year was new to me and didn't really know exactly what kind of schedule would be and how many games they'd play. I talked to him before about, this is the ballpark. I know Connor wanted to get a little more, didn't feel like he was on top of his game, wanted another exhibition game last year. This year, talked to those guys. This is what I was thinking. And they kind of shrugged their shoulders and said, yeah, that sounds good. And that's about it.
What's his expectations for Trent Frederick returning off that, having now a whole summer to recover and rehab from the injury?
Yeah, I would say he's 100% healthy, but it's still maybe a little bit, you might feel it once in a while. I haven't had this injury, but I've just heard our medical staff talk about it. That late in the year, Drysdale had it in the playoffs several years ago. Henrique 2 years ago in the playoffs, and they said when they came back, they had 2 or 3 months off, and they came back and were skating in September, and they kind of I still feel it, I'm not sure about it. And then by October, they don't even talk about it. So it's just, I think it's a little bit, you can feel it, and maybe you're just not trusting it quite yet. And then after playing and getting into the competition, the adrenaline of games, you forget about it, you feel comfortable. But, I don't want to speak for Trent, but that's kind of what I've heard about that kind of injury, and that's kind of the process.
I think, Leon Draisaitl said those injuries, man, it's still high ankle sprains. You'd almost rather, I know this sounds odd, but you'd rather break your ankle. We've had Grant Fedoruk tell us about it. Like the recovery from all the ligament damage around there can be worse than just breaking a bone. So We'll see. I talked to Trent. He obviously feels good. He's been pain-free for a while now, which is key. And he was asked about Frederick. He's going to be on the top line now. He had mentioned earlier, though, he kind of wanted to see him at center. So is he going to switch or is he going to stick him on the top line? What's his thoughts?
Well, I do like him doing some reps playing center because we're always looking for center because of what we do with our lineup, injuries. You like to have some flexibility and guys being able to move there. But I do want to have him play with those guys for a little bit and get some chemistry. Freddie hasn't had the opportunity to play top six very much in his career, and feel that hopefully he can complement him. He's really good on the walls. I don't think he gets appreciated enough for the playmaking abilities that he does have. And then he's also a big body that, is not afraid to get to the net. And playing with those guys, they like to have the puck, and you don't need another guy to hog the puck from those guys. You want a guy to retrieve it, get it to him, get to the net. And I think Freddie's pretty comfortable doing that.
One player who maybe some of you, if you haven't watched any of the games online, you haven't seen him, but Atro Lepinen, 26 years of age, signs a one-year deal with the Oilers. Now, he and Tomasic both, because it's considered their entry-level contract, they are exempt from waivers for 1 year. Anybody who signs their first NHL contract after the age of 25, you're waiver exempt for 1 year. When you sign your ELC when you're younger, it's 3 years unless you get to 160 games, etc. But so, he could go to the minors. You don't have to worry how great he plays. You don't have to worry about exposing him. And that's really kind of protects teams. So, hey, man, we put in all the draft scouting, we sign a guy, and then boom, maybe he's not ready, and we send him down, someone scoops him up. So that's kind of why they like doing that. And Lepinen, from my vantage point, has looked pretty good. What does the coach think of Lepinen's game thus far?
His playmaking, being able to make those slick little passes, slipping it underneath a forechecker stick, or, spinning off a guy to break the puck out. I think he's still getting used to the smaller ice area, the confinement of it. But I think for just coming over here, and he's put in a pretty strong showing.
Unfortunately, there's just not a lot of room on the left side. Nurse, Ekholm, Kulak. You got Jake Wallman. He is obviously playing the right side. But, Lepinen, though, the way he's looked, he reminds me a lot of stylistically in size Ristolainen, right? Like really smooth, but it's preseason. And hopefully he's a guy who I'm sure, though, and I know it's only preseason, but maybe you get a game or two late in the preseason against some NHL guys. But he's going back to back tonight. So I think they just kind of want to test to just see like where he's at, conditioning, everything else. How does he handle it? They're in Winnipeg. Like that's not an easy back-to-back to fly from Winnipeg home. I know it's only preseason, but still, it's not the easiest one. And I played a good chunk of minutes last night, and he'll go again tonight against Seattle. And they will have a few, two of their four lines are full of NHL players. What about Mangiapane? What's like the best case for results? And maybe does he have an envision of where might be the best line to play him?
Yeah, I think he's a very versatile player, and it's nice having that, whether he's playing left wing, right wing, on the power play, penalty kill. We definitely want him to be part of the penalty kill and some power play. And whether he's playing left side, right side, we'll see. I think we'll, he had some time early in the training camp with McDavid, and I saw some chemistry there. But I also think he's able to drive some more possession play, some scoring on another line. So hopefully him and Nuge can build some chemistry together, go from there. The plan was for him to play last game in Winnipeg with Nuge, but he was sick the other night, so he missed that. So he had another day of rest, and he should be able to play tonight.
Oh, that's good. It is good to get. Well, he's going to play. So if you missed the lineup tonight, the Oilers will have McDavid with Frederick and Drysdale, Tomasic with Mangiapane and Robbie Yarventi, Curtis Lazar with Hudson and Janmark, Szymanski with Clattenburg and James Hamlin. On the back end, it's Ekholm and Bouchard, Lepinen and Regula, and Millman and Boake. Stuart Skinner will get the start and goal. The Kraken will have Beniers between Kako and Neiman, right between Eberle and Schwartz. Furcus is playing. Hayden's playing in their bottom. Then Alexiak and the kid from St. Albert, Josh Maher, won a Stanley Cup with Florida a few years ago. Olofsson and Fleury, Jugnoth and Nelson, and then Decord and Coco. Not sure what the rotation will be in between the pipes between those two. We'll come back. Your Remchuk's going to join us. We got Spec. We still got lots of talk. People saying, hey, after 2 days, just throw it in the freezer. You'll be fine. Take it out when you need it. Well, I've heard that. And it does work with lots of other things. Like they say, like, the nutritional value in frozen fruit lots of times is better because it keeps it all in. So I'm no scientist, though. So I'd probably have to. But that's what a lot of the experts say. So we'll see. 4:22. Take a quick break. We'll return. Oh, some of you are pretty funny. So we'll get to that on the Gregor Show, presented by FlyAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is sounding the call. Don't struggle through winter with a furnace you can't trust. For maintenance before winter strikes, call Legacy. Call Legacy. For furnace tune-ups and repairs to give peace of mind. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. Or to scrap your old furnace for a brand new high-efficiency one. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. And with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your new furnace, it's gotta be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Edmonton Elks Indigenous Celebration is back, presented by No Frills. September 27th versus the Saskatchewan Roughriders, featuring Indigenous dance and drum halftime performances, pregame makers market, and the unveiling of our brand new Indigenous gear. Tickets at goelks.com.
Oodle Noodle Origins.
In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudell, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudell was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as
Oodle Noodle.
When you get into a new Tundra, you might find yourself hauling ATVs into the great outdoors, even if your last outdoor experience was a backyard barbecue. Because with this much towing capability, fun, it's a serious upgrade. All that's left to do is drive it home. Get in and go right now at Toyota, where you can lease a 2025 Tundra 4x4 double cab SR5 from $154 weekly for 60 months at 5.39% with $7,999 down. Visit shoptoyota.ca for your local Prairie Toyota dealer today.
Shop the Fall Big Red Sale at Canadian Tire and save up to 50% on select seasonal must-haves until September 25th. Conditions and exclusions apply.
This is the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440. Favorite us right now.
Powered by PlayAlberta.ca. If you gamble, use your game sense. Learn more at gamesense.ab.ca.
What sports talk on the go?
You can listen to 1440 on the AM dial or stream us on your mobile device through apps like Radio Player, iHeart, and Stingray Music.
Edmonton sports fans,
turn to Sports 1440.
1440.
I'm a little hungry.
I've got booster balls from Booster Juice.
Booster what now?
Booster balls. They're little protein bites packed with nutrients. Chewy, crunchy, yummy, and new flavors all the time. Like this little guy. The new mint chocolate booster ball, peppermint cocoa, coconut, peanut butter, maple syrup, all rolled up into a delightful little bite-sized snack.
Why am I just hearing about this now?
I don't know.
Can I have one?
No.
Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers are back in action, and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian and 69-cent wings. Plus, play Oilers, score, and win every game. See more at OnTheRocksYEG.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
425. I don't know if I've ever, I think if You know how you have the ability to block texts on the show, Cons? And I think there was only one in 2 years. There was one texter that we blocked just due to over the top hate and stuff. We were just ridiculous. So that was it. But I think I'm in preseason mode, but I might be in playoff mode on blocking people who keep asking if the pregame or the preseason games are on TV. This has not changed in years. Okay. The games aren't on TV. The only games that are on TV are against Vancouver. We all know this. The block button might be getting a workout for those asking about TV. So see. We'll see. You have to draw a line at some point in the sand, Connor. At some point we have to draw the line. That might be the one. We'll see. Let's get to the old report brought to you by Volvo Cars Edmonton. 13-time Excellence Award winner in sales and service. Great vehicles, better service. VolvoCarsEdmonton.com is Tyler Remchuk from OilersNation.com. Oilers Nation every day joins us. Ty, how you doing?
I thought tonight's game was on TV. I'm just kidding.
Block. Shagaba. Oh, did our screen go down? What happened? I can't hear you. Hello?
Quickest hit ever.
Oh, yeah, exactly. You're out. I get that fans want to watch it, but it's streaming. That's how it always is, unless it's the Vancouver Canucks. So yeah, don't worry. After tonight, you only have 2 preseason games that aren't on TV, because the 2 against Vancouver, Sunday and Friday, are on television. What do you make of Trent Frederick and the opportunity that will be presented to him here for the next few weeks, and who knows how much longer?
Yeah, I mean, you and I talked about this. I think it was last week, or maybe it was the other day with when I was on with Kevin. But either way, it's like, hey, you have this guy signed for 8 years. Why not give him a look to see if he works up there with McDavid and Drysdale? And we all know how much that lower leg injury was hampering him last season in the playoffs. We haven't seen the best of Trent Frederick. So I like the idea of giving this a little bit of a gamble. The other thing I'm really curious about is if him getting these minutes up there with McDavid and Drysdale also means he ends up taking that net front spot on the power play. Because again, I think he could be really good in that spot.
Well, yeah, the 5-on-5, he's not Zach Kassian, but and he's not Patrick Maroon, and he's not Zach Hyman. They're all different players, but there are some similarities. Skates well, up and down straight line player, bigger body, and those guys have had success playing with McDavid. And now Kassian, the reason I use Kassian, because he played, that was the year McDavid and Drysdale in those 2 calendar years, they played a lot together during that 2019 time. So it's very similar. And hey, when you're playing with McDavid and Drysdale like consistently, you would hope you would have a good chance to produce. The net front presence is another one. Like we saw Adam Henrique there last night against Winnipeg. And when Hyman went down, I thought those were the 2 candidates who might split the duty just because of size, because of ability. Henrique's been a pretty good goal scorer in his NHL career. Like, he's not an elite goal scorer, but 8-time 20 goal scorer, that's pretty darn good. And, around the net, I think would fit him. What do you make tonight? Are you going to put Tomasic on Nugent Hopkins line as the right shot one-timer just to see how it looks?
Without a doubt, I am. Again, I want to see him more as a winger than as a centerman. And it's hard to read too much into just a couple of preseason games, and especially with a guy like that who's still getting acclimated to the smaller ice. But just watching him the other night, I didn't get the vibe that this is a guy who's going to be a really good bottom 6 centerman. I think if you want to use him to the best of his abilities, it's as a winger, and it's on a line with a guy who can get him the puck. So I like the idea of him and Nuge potentially being a fit. And I like the idea of Tomasek, not being used as a top line winger by any means, but being used in one of those middle 6 roles where he's going to get some ozone starts and he's going to get an opportunity to use that shot. I just think if he's on that right side, it gives him an opportunity to find some softer areas, get into scoring positions, and again, utilize his scoring touch. I'm way more excited about that than I am about the idea of him being a 3rd-line center with Kapanen and whoever. And not to say that you can't generate offense as a centerman, but I just think it's easier to start him as a winger, and I want to see that shot. That shot is just so tantalizing.
Oh man, he can rip it. There's no question about that. What about Mangiapane? What's your expectations for him? And Where do you think long term? Because it's kind of hard to say, like, second line guy. I guess now it's going to be with Nugent Hopkins, I would think, when he's in the lineup to play there. But what are you expecting realistically from him this season?
I think the one area that's maybe making me a little bit curious with Mangiapane, and this is just because I didn't watch a lot of Washington Capitals games last year, but he played, a lot with Lars Eller in a bottom six role. But how much can he create offense, right? Like, you see a lot of guys who can go to the right areas and bang home pucks on the side of the net and all of that. But is Mangiapane a guy who off the rush can create something, who's comfortable carrying the puck into the zone versus just chipping and going after it or having one of his line mates go after it? Like, if there's a world where Mangiapane can be an actual creator of offense, no matter how that is, whether it's off the cycle, off the rush, whatever, and you're playing that with a Nugent Hopkins down the middle who can be a distributor, who can handle things in the D zone, and then you have a heavy shot on the other side in Tomasek, that's kind of like the three ingredients you look for when you're building a good forward line. And if, again, Knobloch will likely hold true to his word and start with McDavid and Drysdale together, you're going to need a line that doesn't just score every once in a while, every 4 or 5 games. Like, you're going to need a line that can actually push the pace a little bit on their own, that can go from a D zone start to creating something down at the other end. So Mangiapane being a guy who's legitimately driving play with the puck on his stick, making chances happen. If he can be that, he is a good fit. And it almost makes it easier for Knobloch to justify putting McDavid and Drysdale together. If a guy like Mangiapane is back to his 25-ish or 25 plus goal form that we saw a few years back in Calgary, I know a lot of that was power play driven, but again, if he can be good at the puck and driving offense, that can be a second line without Leon Draisaitl on it that is still producing at a second line level.
Yeah, he had 35 goals. 8 came on the power play that season for him. That's kind of a career high by double any other year for him. He's never really been a big time power play guy, so I don't necessarily see him like on the second unit though. And I guess you get down to kind of like you look at rosters. So if Draisaitl is going to start with Frederick and McDavid, then you got Nugent Hopkins and Tomasek. It looks like your second and third line center. So there's a little bit battle. Who's your fourth line? Is Henry going to play center? Is he going to play wing? He was playing center last night, so maybe he's your fourth line center. We'll see. Then you've got Mangiapane and Savoy on the right side. You got Podkolzin, you've got Kapanen, you've got Janmark. What about Noah Philp? Like, Noah Philp last night was the best player. I get it, it's preseason, but still, all Noah Philp can do is play the best of his ability, and he made 2 really nice plays. He was skating all over the ice, played quite well. What do you make of Philp's chances with Hyman out of being one of the forwards on the roster? Maybe not one of the 12, but one of the forwards on the roster to start.
I mean, a right shot centerman. I think he was 8 for 14 in the dot yesterday. And again, that's a guy. I mean, I'm high on him because I got that Golden Bears bias, and Greg's. But still, like, he's a big body who shoots right. If he can be good in the dots, he was a good penalty killer last year down in Bakersfield. I think that's an important note with both him and Savoy, is that they killed penalties last year, and by all accounts did really well in that area. If Noah Philp's going to be a right shot penalty killing fourth line center for you, like, he's doing everything he can. And I agree, like, it's early in preseason and you need to be careful, because if Noah Philp is nothing more than a quad A guy for his career, then these are the games that he'll excel in, right? When it's a bunch of American leaguers and NHLers who are going 80, 90% or whatever number you want to put on it. But still, he played really, really good last night. I liked him when he got auditions last year too. I would roll to start the year if you're sitting there humming and hawing between, okay, do we go Philp as our fourth line center? Are we going to try Janmark at center again? Are we going to put Curtis Lazar there? I don't think he moves well enough to play center. To me, give the guy who's a little bit younger, who has some upside, who has room to grow. Put Noah Philp as your fourth line center. Give him 15 games. Learn from some mistakes. I know it's not a developmental league, but early in the year, you can give him a little bit of leash and see if you found something here. Because if he ends up having a good year and growing a little bit at the NHL level, I feel like every trade deadline for the last 8 years, it's been like, wonder if the Oilers can get a fourth or a bottom six right shot centerman. Like, they always need it. And they have a 27-year-old who looks like he can fill that role right now.
No, Tyler Remchuk from Oilers Nation joins us. Savoy, Howard, from what you've seen, what's been your early assessment of their play?
Howard's gotten better as every period, it feels like, has kind of gone on. And there's no denying he's good with the puck on his stick. Like, you can look at the pass he made to Kapanen in the split squad game down in Calgary. And then even yesterday, the way he's just willing to fire that puck with the one-timer. Like, not a lot of guys are even comfortable or have that in their brain to, like, I'm just going to hammer this puck as hard as I can. And it ends up going in. I know it was maybe a goal Comrie wants back because it hits his stick and deflects up. But Howard's been getting better and better as the games have gone on. And I've been someone who's not pessimistic, but I've been pushing back on the idea that he's some sort of lock to make this team out of camp and be a Calder Trophy front runner and all this. It's like, whoa, he's never played against grown men. He has not played professional hockey yet. Like, pump the brakes. Savoy, I'm a little bit more like, okay, we can look at stretches last year in Bakersfield and go, he's probably too good for that level. He was borderline too good for that level down the stretch last year. So Savoy is someone who, and nothing he's done so far in camp has deterred me from giving this as my opinion, but like, Savoy's ready to go. He's a lock to be in this top 9, and I think he's ready to make an impact. Howard, I was more hesitant on, but as I've watched 2 preseason games, I'm starting to kind of go, okay, I can see the path to him cracking this lineup on October 8th when they open up against Calgary, and I wasn't saying that a week ago.
Well, to me, it comes down to numbers, and do they have the cap space? Is there a benefit? Now obviously, if you put Hyman on LTIR, you can keep anybody you want at that point on the 23-man roster if they feel like, hey, we're going to keep 14. But if you're keeping 14 active guys in the roster, then you're going to have to move them in and out of the lineup because you don't want any of those young guys not playing. And so there's a balance, right? And that'll kind of be the interesting one for me. I think the defense is pretty secure. Lebanon doesn't require waivers. He's played really well, but he doesn't require waivers. And the left side is just too full, right? Like unless there's an injury, I don't see him coming up here. But it's early in preseason, and early preseason games are still very different than late preseason games. But so far, everything I've seen from him, he comes as advertised, really smooth puck-moving defenseman.
Yeah, totally. Again, there's a couple of moments like he had that turnover yesterday against Winnipeg that was like, oh boy, you can maybe get away with that right now. You can't get away with that when Kyle Connor's going to be the one getting that puck off the turnover, or whoever is in the lineup come opening night. But I've also just talking about the defenseman, like Leppinen, if the Oilers were to have an injury to the left side, I'd right now be like, yeah, he can probably come up and give you a stretch of games. And on the right side, again, very early, Alec Regula, they saw something in him. Like, you don't give him 2 years and you don't claim a guy on waivers and then let him rehab for a season and all that unless you really believe in the player. And what I've seen so far is that, yeah, like they probably have a reason to believe in this guy. All the reports coming out of camp and the practices are good. And like, if someone were to go down on that right side, or maybe even, January, if you're looking for a different mix and maybe one of Stetcher or Emberson isn't cutting it, like I can see Alec Regula being a player at some point this season on the big club in the NHL.
Yeah, well, Regula just needs to play, right? Like you can see his timings off. Like, he hasn't played in like 16, 18 months or whatever it was since he played a game. So you see it like his first game when he played, he's on the penalty kill. He's in the right position, but his stick's on the wrong side, and that allows an easy seam pass, right? So just little things like that about stick placement for defensemen and where you want. You have your stick on the ice, you have a much better chance to stop it. So those are kind of the little details. The Oilers, I know it's only preseason, Tyler, but they've kind of picked up where they're not giving up a lot of shots or a lot of chances so far through preseason. I know there's a lot of focus on their scoring, but the Oilers really haven't given up much.
No, again, early in the preseason, so that's all good. Maybe again, there might be a few guys who, the short summer, the first time around, I think maybe catches you almost by surprise. It's more jarring to guys. The second time around, you need to, what your workload needs to be like. I know that was a conversation, obviously, with Stuart Skinner, but if they're going to be a good defensive team again, that's limiting chances. Maybe they're even better. Like I think the impact of a full 82 games of Jake Wallman is going to be pretty significant on the way this blue line looks. If you combine that with Stuart Skinner bouncing back, like, he doesn't need to be 914 the way he was that first season. If he can be 905 to 909 and this team is preventing chances the way they did last year and the way they're looking right now, this is a team that isn't going to have to score 4 goals to win a hockey game. Like, they might be winning a handful of 2-0, 3-0, 3-1 kind of wins next season. And again, I think that's kind of exciting. When you have the ability to prevent chances and your goalie is above average instead of what he was last year, which was slightly below average, like 5 save percentage points below average, then all of a sudden your cold streaks just aren't as long because you get away with winning a 2-1 game here and there.
Quickly, give me your thoughts on baseball and the Jays right now. A little stressful for Jays fans as they've seen their lead dwindle from 5 down to 1. They can't hit any home runs. They got the fewest home runs here since in the last 2 weeks. They're obviously they missed Bichette offensively. What do you make of the Jays? How nervous are you that they could go from first to third rather quickly?
Yeah, I'm really nervous about it. And last night, in the span of whatever it was, 10 minutes, you watched the New York Yankees pull off a comeback on the Chicago White Sox in the bottom of the ninth and win that game. And then the Jays go down with a whimper. Like, it was like 7 straight non-competitive at-bats. I think maybe Nathan Lucas was the only one who had a good at-bat in the back third of that game. And I was like, and I'm a diehard fan. Like, I was angry walking around my house the rest of the night. And then as I kind of laid down and my head hit the pillow, I was like, it feels good to be angry about a baseball game again. Like, this is what it's supposed to be like when your team's good. Like, there's a passion behind it right now. So I'm very nervous about tonight because the Yankees have Fried going against the White Sox. They should smoke the Chicago White Sox tonight. And the Jays bats have looked pathetic for 6 of the last 7 games, and they have to face Garrett Crochet today. That's not a good recipe. I'm really nervous it could be tied after tonight.
Yeah, that is. It's tied. The Jays do technically have the tiebreaker. That's the only thing that's well, not technically. They do have the tiebreaker, so that's the thing that's saving them. Now, meanwhile, the Jays. So you're torn because you got the Jays, but then you got your buddy Eric Zabrowski and the Guardians, and they are absolutely killing it in the basically the month of September. Some teams have only played 19 games, but in their last 20 games, the Guardians have allowed 36 runs. The next closest team in all of Major League Baseball in 20. Do you know what the next closest team is?
No, I don't.
Seattle and the Athletics at 74.
Oh my God.
Wow. Double. Like they're murdering teams on the pitching mound. Zabrowski obviously has the lowest ERA on the best pitching team right now in baseball. He's got a season-long 1.95, and obviously it's way lower in the month of September. Which is pretty damn good. Like, for a relief pitcher, it's hard to have that low of an ERA. It just is, right? Because you can have one bad outing and it screws you for a long, long time. But man, he has been killing it. They've been crushing. And the Detroit Tigers right now, Cleveland on when on the morning of July 9th, after playing 90 games, Cleveland was 42-48. They were 15 and a half games back of Detroit. They've now tied them. If they pass them and beat them, that'll be the largest comeback in MLB history.
It has been one of the most insane turnarounds. Like you mentioned the July number there. Even the fact that you could go back to like September 2nd and they were still like 9.5 games back of the Detroit Tigers, and their 9-1 run coincides perfectly with a 1-9 run from the Tigers. It's crazy. And there's another number on Zabrowski. I haven't checked it in 4 days, so it may have gotten better. It may have changed. But when you look at rookie pitchers in Major League Baseball, starters and relievers, but rookie pitchers who have pitched at least 25 innings, I think there's only 3 rookies who have better ERAs than Zabrowski this year. Like, again, for an Edmonton kid to just be dealing on the mound, and this isn't past the point of like last year he came up, and if you want to make a case that it's a little bit of a funkier delivery and it's hard to tell out of the hand if it's a fastball or a curveball, teams have had time to adjust on him. Like, there's plenty of tape on this guy now, and he's still coming in like he did yesterday. 7th inning, close game, strikeout, line out. Like, he just makes quick work. It's beyond impressive to see him doing this now towards the end of his rookie season. He's been in the majors now, though, for 13 months.
Oh, buddy, it's great to see him recover from an injury. Yeah. And, the fact that, obviously you and him are friends, and, I got to know Eric, had him in studio, and, so we've been following along. And yeah, so I'll be honest, like I told my son about the story with Eric and got him to listen to the interview. So he's obviously a Jays fan, but now he's following Cleveland, and their story, like it's that dominant right now. Like, they look virtually unhittable as a staff. Like, every guy that comes out of the bullpen, you're like, oh my God, look at this guy. And then look at this guy. And so that is that is a crazy stat over 20 games. They're at 36 runs allowed. The next closest is 74. Like, that's twice as many everybody else in the league. It's wild.
And remember, they're one of the best closers in baseball, Emmanuel Clase. He's still on the leave for the gambling investigation. Like, they're still missing their best arm, and they're doing this.
Yeah. So crazy stuff. Well, enjoy the game tonight, both baseball and hockey. Ty, we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Riggs.
There you go. That's Tyler Yaremchuk, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley with you, Sports 1440. We'll come back. We got 5 questions. We got spec. We'll hear from Trent Frederick and much more on a busy Wednesday edition of the Jason Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Remember, casino, sports, live dealer, lottery, instance, all in one stop. And it's even easier with better odds this year. So you can do it at PlayAlberta.ca or just download the app. Even easier to use now.
God said, I need somebody to get up before dawn, milk cows, work all day in the fields, milk cows again, eat supper, go to town, and stay all night at a meeting of the school board. So God made a farmer.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We are so thankful God made a farmer. For the month of September, it is our goal to feed 500 families. With every vehicle sold, we will feed a family of 4. So please help us reach our goal. Visit us online at northgategm.com.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada with sports and entertainment properties, including the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League's Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility, is open in Nisku, which features 2 sheets of ice, including a 1,600-seat arena and a restaurant with a viewing area. Find incredible savings on everything you need for your home at The Brick. Save up to $800 on sofas and up to $1,000 off select major appliances when you buy 2 or more. Whether you're furnishing a new space or refreshing your current one, The Brick has designs to fit any style and budget, all backed by their exceptional service. Visit one of their 4 locations in Edmonton, downtown, South Common, West Edmonton Mall, or 137th on the north side. See in-store for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
Listen up, because we're about to tell you what nobody else will. There's a serious problem in auto service. The price you expect is almost never the price you pay. Big Toy Shop tells it like it is. No BS, no false inflated bill. It's just the auto service you need, done quickly and done well at a price that doesn't make you feel like a chump. Take your ride to Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road. Call 780-298-2797.
It's happened again, and construction season is in full swing. Job delayed, money lost, and clients disappointed because your rigging failed and it wasn't inspected. Don't let this happen to you. Have your lifting slings, fittings, hoisting tools, and safety harnesses checked with Titan Supply. Titan Supply offers certified on-site and in-house rigging inspections and service, so they can repair it, replace it, and recertify it. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
Stop juggling lowest bid contractors, because at Wetaskiwin and Ready Mix, one call does it all. From concrete supply to cribbing and pumping, we've got your project covered. Locally owned and operated, Wetaskiwin and Ready Mix is proud to deliver on spec and on time every time, because we know quality concrete isn't cheap, and cheap concrete isn't quality. Send Wetaskiwin and Ready Mix your blueprint. We'll handle the rest. Wetaskiwin and Ready Mix, 780-352-4301.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Elks Nation, 2 weekly podcast with Eddie Steele and Declan Kruger, breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth AA football coverage on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.448, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. As well as our YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram pages for Sports 1440 and Orders Nation. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Let's get to 5 questions now, brought to you by The Brick, where saving you more, that's what they look for. Furniture, mattresses, appliances, big screen TVs, 50% off mattresses, and more. Check it out at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, question number 1. Oilers in action tonight. Going to go nuclear. McDavid and Drysdale playing on the same line. How many goals will they combine for in their first preseason action?
Oh, it's preseason. I think like McDavid really wants to get a good start. I'll say 2.
Yeah, I was going to go a little more extreme. I mean, preseason, probably whipping it around, having a good time out there. I'm going to say they combine for 3 goals tonight. Now, question number 2 for you. A few more NHLers in the lineup for the Oilers in Edmonton, of course. Anyone you'll be focusing on specifically?
Lepinen, because I haven't seen him live yet. So I'll be watching him. And the Tomasic Mangiapane line is another one, just because I want to see those guys together. I'm not sure they're going to play together in the regular season or not. And then Trent Frederick as the net front presence on the power play.
I'm going to say Trent Frederick on that number 1 line. Net front will be something to watch for as well, but I want to see how he's moving out there without the ankle sprain or, as bad as it was in the playoffs. I'm very curious to see what he can do. And then, what the communication will be like between those 2 players and Frederick, like playing on such an elite, talented line. What does he do? Is it just, win puck battles, go to the net, stick on the ice, tap ins? I'm looking forward to seeing what that happens there. Question number 3 for you. Toronto Blue Jays, of course, in action tonight. They've got 5 games left, including their game against Boston tonight. They're 5-5 in their last 10. The Yankees surging. What do you think the Jays' record will be in the final 5 games?
Oh, God. It's like Ty outlined. Tonight is on paper not a great matchup for the Jays, right? You got one of the best pitchers in baseball against a team right now that is struggling. I will say, though, man, that George Springer hit last night, geez, it looked close to being fair. Wonder if that would have changed the whole dynamics of that game. But I will say in their final 5 games, they go 3-2.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking at as well. Tough matchup tonight. Be tough, to go undefeated against Tampa. 3-2 looks good. And hoping for 4-1 at least. It's going to be tough. They need to get those wins rolling here as the season concludes. Question number 4 for you. Are you a big fan of the Ryder Cup? Will you be tuning in? And who are you liking to get the job done?
I will tune in periodically. Like I just don't have time to watch all of it, but we'll obviously have it on in studio. I think the single matches on Sunday, I just hope it's close so the matches on Sunday really matter. Right. And I'll be watching cons once they announce certain matchups. There's certain guys that I want to see more. So that'll kind of impact who I watch.
And who's your pick? Who's winning?
Well, US is on home, so I'll pick the US.
Yeah, I'm going to be rooting for Team Europe, I feel like, as it gets going here. I think it's going to be a raucous crowd. So that's going to make it interesting. Of course, I'm going to be watching. Like you said, we'll have it on in studio. We've got the Golf Network on here right now, which I don't know how. I put it to TSN. Now we're back on the Golf Channel. Destiny wants us to watch this, evidently. Final question for you. It is the late puppeteer actor Jim Henson's birthday. Of all the puppets he's worked with and created, who would you say is your favorite?
Oh, Animal. It was awesome.
That's a good one.
You?
I honestly, I didn't like the Muppets growing up. I know he worked on Sesame Street, so not directly, but indirectly, I guess Cookie Monster. Who wouldn't want to be Cookie Monster? All he does is get fired up about eating cookies. He was always ready to go. So
you didn't like the Muppets? Like
no.
Oh, buddy.
I found Miss Piggy so annoying.
Oh no, hey, Miss Piggy, I would agree with you. She was kind of annoying. But Beaker? Oh my God, man. Beaker and the Chef. Oh, one of my buddies, he kind of had red hair and he had a long neck, and so I called him Beak. Oh my God, still a nickname. I still call him Beak. It's unbelievable. Statler and Waldorf, man. The 2 old crusty guys just commenting on everything. They were classic. Sam the Eagle, like the Swedish Chef. Like they had so many classic characters in that one. So yeah, like Miss Piggy could be annoying at times, but I thought there was way more good characters than bad ones for sure.
Yeah, I just never got into it. I mean, I like the.
What about Snuffleupagus?
Never
really saw him. He didn't know. Like, where is he? What happened to him?
They would do their play on like Scrooge and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like in the holiday episodes, I could probably get into, but that was about it.
Yeah. What about? Do you remember Sweetums?
No.
He's the very tall Muppet. Like he was like the ogre guy. Ogre.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oscar the Grouch. Oh man, they had some classics. But Animal and what was his name? Was it Dr. Teeth? In the band? God. Sure, that's who it was.
Yeah,
it was Duck Teeth, right? Oh, my
green dude with the orange beard.
Oh, he's a beauty too. Oh man, the classic. What about Fraggle Rock? Did you ever get into Fraggle Rock?
No, like no show with puppets. I guess would have kind of been the
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't think Fraggle Rock was puppets.
No?
I don't think so, no.
They look like it.
Yeah, they might have been. I don't know. I thought it was, yeah, I don't know if it might have been. Can't remember. I just remember they were underground and, it used to be on Sunday nights on CBC down in Fraggle Rock.
Was it a kid's show?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah, like I remember watching as a kid, so probably before your time. So, like, did they have kid shows for you? Like, because, man, I think we had the prime, like, you look at Looney Tunes, that was unbelievable. And they were simple cartoons. Like, now everything's like killing and shooting, and there just seems to be like some simple cartoons, man. Like, I know it sounds dumb, but Roadrunner and the Coyote, the classic, the Anvil, like so many times you thought he would catch him, and he didn't. Foghorn Leghorn, right? Daffy Duck. God, they had some classics, man. Like Roadrunner, all he did was beep, beep, and you still knew who he was. Like, did you have like a show as a kid that you still remember that you really liked?
Yeah, like I would watch one Saturday morning, which was like Recess and Doug, Pepper Ann, those types of shows, the Weekenders. But we would also get like, I guess from the previous era, like Tom and Jerry. I used to really like.
Oh yeah.
I would watch Looney Tunes, Flintstones, Jetsons, all of those. But the current shows from that time frame, I think there might have been a bit of a drop off.
See, a lot of people, I think you saw the New Age Muppets, Cons, because I'm getting a lot of texts from people. Con sounds like you watched the New Age Muppets. They weren't as good.
And that might have been it.
So
it just was like a lot of noise and color. Maybe it was just overstimulating or something. I don't know. I didn't really get into it. But I mean, I like CBC would always kind of replay Mr. Dress Up.
Now, did you watch Ralph and the Raccoons?
It was on. I don't think I loved it, but it was on.
Cyril Sneer.
Yeah. Inspector Gadget was another one I liked.
Inspector Gadget. Oh God. Like his arm would just reach out. So, but like very innocent cartoons when you think back about it. But man, Fraggle Rocks and the Raccoons, man. The Raccoons are unreal. Oh, because they're playing hockey. It's kind of always, but I just like, I don't know. Just look it up. Just look up, like, I don't even know if Declan knows who the Raccoons are, but go look up the character Cyril Sneer and just see, like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, he's pink and then he had like a nose and it came down. Like, what was he, an aardvark? I don't even know what he was.
He was kind of terrifying.
He wasn't an aardvark, but God, it was just a classic name, Cyril Sneer. Like, I don't even know what his character really was. No, he wasn't aardvark. Okay, I was right. I'm looking it up. He's a greedy capitalist aardvark who will find a way to make money in any way he can.
One of the biggest tycoons in Evergreen Forest.
Oh, buddy, he was a killer. And then Cedric Sneer, his son, who was kind of glasses and a really nice guy, right? So dad didn't really like him. But there's Ralph and Melissa and Bert Raccoon, buddy. Bert was the greatest. I didn't love the Raccoons. I'm totally aging myself, and I'm fine with it. Totally fine with it. So, oh man,
that show's got a legacy. I think a lot of people know that one.
Oh God, what about like the original Spider-Man? Oh, that was good. Flintstones. It's like, please tell me you like the Flintstones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Flintstones was good.
Yeah.
I think then they did the movie, so like I feel like we kind of like, okay, now I have to watch the cartoon. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was another big one for me.
Well, okay, so that was a little bit after my time. So.
Power Rangers was cool, but that was like, mid elementary school.
Okay.
I had friends who were only allowed to watch like one episode at a time because they'd get too jacked up.
What would get them so jacked up? What was so great about like the power? Like, what did the Power Rangers do again?
It was 5 teens and they could like combine all their powers and make this big robot. I don't even know who the bad guys were. It's been so long.
What about Darkwing Duck?
Oh, Darkwing Duck. Let's get dangerous. Yeah. The Gargoyles was another one.
The Gargoyles, yeah. But Darkwing Duck, man, I'm because my sister's closer to your age, and I remember her like, because as a good older brother, the great thing about I find like even animated movies now, I like watching it with my son. Some of them, they're awesome. Right? Like I don't feel like I'm too old for him. Like there was some when he was 3 and 4, they were just like, oh, if I have to watch one more of these, I kill myself. Well, not kill myself, but I'm gonna get a little annoyed. But Like nowadays, it's like I'll sit and watch him all the time. Probably enjoy it more than him. My wife's like, does he want to watch it or you? No, he does.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, Tailspin. Oh, did you ever watch Hercules with Toot and Newton?
No.
Oh no, it was a little bit before your time. Was Smurfs?
Smurfs a little, Care Bears a little as well.
Yeah. Thankfully, I wasn't the Care Bear. Was Cabbage Patch Kids ever like a show? I remember Cabbage Patch Kids was like a big doll for a long. It was like Frank Costanza, right? When as I was raining blows upon him, I realized there has to be a better way. I think the Cabbage Patch Kid phenom, which I was too old for, thankfully, but people would go nuts over those things. And I really never understood it. Like the face was a rock hard. Like if you needed a weapon, you would grab a Cabbage Patch doll and hit someone with it. It was like hitting them with a rock. Those things, like I wonder how many siblings like KO'd each other by swinging a Cabbage Patch doll at them. Because man, that thing was a weapon, an absolute weapon. So we'll see.
I saw a couple who has like on that Strange Addiction show, and they had like thousands of those.
Those dolls?
Yeah. They spent like $1 million. Okay, they had 5,000 and spent $1 million at least on them.
Come on.
Yeah. And they like treated them like their own kids. They meet up with other enthusiasts. Kind of interesting behavior.
Can't treat a cabbage. Well, remember that what we had. I don't trust you, blank.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't trust you if you treat your Cabbage Patch Kid like a kid. Okay. Was it Ryan or Randy who said, "Yeah, I don't trust anyone who treats their dogs and calls them their kids." Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. In September, Northgate is helping feed families. For every truck sold, they'll feed a family of 4. Farmers and small business owners get preferred rates in September. Northgate, this truck's for you.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
It is game day. The Edmonton Oilers hosting the Kraken down at Rogers Place. Puck drop in this one just after 7 o'clock. Elsewhere, you will have the Canucks hosting the Flames Kings in Anaheim, and the Blue Jackets up against the Penguins. Just about to get going in the second period down in Raleigh. Hurricanes on top of the Panthers, 2-0. Major League Baseball, Toronto Blue Jays confirming the signing of 18-year-old righty Moon Seo-Toon. Moon, who turned down offers from the Dodgers and the Mets to sign a deal worth $1 million with the Blue Jays, was expected to be a top 3 pick in this month's KBO draft. Jays are in action tonight to take on the Boston Red Sox. Good news for Toronto. Outfielder Anthony Santander making his return to the lineup, batting 5th, serving as the team's DH. Right now, you've got the Marlins fairly scoreless, as are the Reds and Pirates and Tigers Guardians. Rays have a 2-0 lead over the Orioles in the top of the second. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option.
Just after 4 o'clock, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley with
Edmonton Trailer
with you.
has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3
I don't know if I've
locations.
ever
For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance. When you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Connor Halley,
The Elks
Declan Kruger.
Indigenous celebration is back, presented by No Frills. September 27th versus the Saskatchewan Roughriders, featuring Indigenous dance and drum halftime performances, pre-game makers market, and the unveiling of our brand new Indigenous gear. Tickets at goelks.com.
Some people wake up and get dressed for work in a suit and tie or a nice dress. At GS Construction, we're less fashion forward and more putting our best foot forward. We wear hard hats and steel toe boots, and most importantly, we wear 50 years of experience with pride. It's not glamorous, it's definitely not easy, but it matters. We do it well. So if you'd like to be part of something where your work matters, GS Construction is hiring. Just remember, when you come for an interview, ditch the tie. See more at gsconstruction.ca.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Experience a season of superior luxury, performance, and savings. The Fall Experience event is on now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. The all-new redesigned 2026 XC90 is here. Come drive one today. You won't be disappointed. Finance or lease a 2026 XC40 from 1.99%. And right now, you can save $7,500 on remaining 2025 XC60s. The Fall Experience event is on now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better service. Visit volvocarsedmonton.com.
It takes grit. It takes heart. It's the legendary Canadian Finals Rodeo, powered by ATV. From October 1st to 4th in Edmonton, the nation's best go head-to-head in a battle of pure willpower. Witness the raw strength and adrenaline at Rogers Place. Plus, soak up the Western lifestyle at the Canadian Country Expo, with free admission and shuttles running between the expo and the arena. This is more than a rodeo. It's a showdown. Get your tickets now at cfr.ca.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Huge difference. And so, but then even up front, so his first.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Joppa Machinery. Did you know that Joppa offers in-house and on-site service? Rain or shine, Joppa's service department is here for you. Get a quote now at joppamachinery.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by playalberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 5 o'clock, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Declan running the show at our YouTube channel. Say hi to him. Give him a thumbs up. Right? A thumbs up is great, but even more importantly, if you hit the subscribe button, it really helps us to going to create more content for you. Special interviews and everything that I think you'll really enjoy at our Sports 1440 YouTube page. So check it out, hit the subscribe button, and you'll like it for sure. It is the Gregor Show, as always, presented by playalberta.ca. And I know what you like. You like simplicity. You make things easier, a little bit more exciting. Well, that's what happened. Playalberta.ca revamped, improved odds, all games, all season long at playalberta.ca. And you can download the app, make it even easier. Play Alberta. Just get it anywhere you have in your app store. Some sad news to share with you. The Edmonton Oilers have just sent out a release. Quote, the Oilers are saddened to share that Vasily Podkolzin's father tragically and suddenly passed away last night. Vasily will be taking a leave of absence to return to Russia to be with his family. On behalf of Vasily, the Oilers club asked for privacy at this time. So very tough loss. Imagine that. Like, you know, probably called his parents and was so excited about, you know, signing a 3-year contract extension. And I know that Vasily, I talked to him in the playoffs. It was his first time his brother was able to come over and see him ever play. Like, he'd been to, when he got drafted, but he had never been there. And it was a real big deal for Vasily to have his younger brother around and just to get to show him the dressing room and everything like that. And, you know, now to have your father pass away, Vasily's only 24. I was 27. I can relate to it. It's brutal. I wasn't living across the world at the time though, so that's going to be really challenging for them. So definitely condolences to him and his family. Let's get to the spec report now, brought to you by GS Construction. If you're looking for a great career, they're hiring. Go to Indeed.com and look up GS Construction, as they love to give you a career, not just a job. At GS Construction, Mark Spector joins us. Spec, good afternoon. How you doing?
Not bad. Very sad news about the Podkolzin. Send my regards and condolences.
Yeah, for sure. Especially, it's always, anytime it's brutal to lose your father. But you think about it, like for Vasily, like the previous day, he was probably calling his parents. Well, maybe they signed the contract the day before, but either way, probably having a pretty big celebration. Like, son, man, I'm really proud of you. Great. You're in a 3-year deal. Like, it's life-altering money for him and his family. And then, less than 48 hours or 24, whenever it happened, unfortunately, his father passes away. So he'll be, and that explains why Podkolzin wasn't in the lineup today. When you looked, he didn't play last night. Kind of thought he would play today, but he's not. You look at the lineup, the order is both teams' top 2 lines are pretty much NHL guys for the most part. Now, Yarventi's obviously not a full-timer. Then you got the top 2 defense pairs on each side tonight. So pretty even there. Obviously, the skill set of Edmonton's top guys is a little bit better than the skill set of Seattle's top guys.
Yeah, listen, it's going to be that way in September, and it's going to be that way in October, November, December, and January, and February, March, and April, because Edmonton's a better team. But it is nice to see. It's nice to see a game where Edmonton's at home and they're dressing all their big guys. It's nice to see Seattle come to town with a good lineup. Last night's lineup was very equal in Winnipeg. Winnipeg did not dress a totally superior lineup to Edmonton's by any means. It was pretty much equal in terms of guys you think are going to be in opening day lineups between the two teams. And the Oilers did pretty well out there. I thought they controlled a good chunk of that game, Jason.
Yeah, they did. You know what? Noah Phil played very well last night. Howard and Hudson both scoring. That's what you want to do when you're young guys to get noticed. I really like Noah Philp's game, Spec, and I know that he's in tough, but that's what he's got to do. There's nothing more he can do than to be one of the the more noticeable players in every preseason game.
Listen, they need a right-handed centerman, and especially one that's pretty good at faceoffs. And for his, Philp isn't young. What did we say? Is he not 27?
I just turned 27. Yeah,
he's not young anymore. He's not a young player. So his faceoff work, he's a young NHLer. He hasn't played many NHL games, but his faceoff work has been pretty good. Like, he feels like he's a guy that, given a couple runs through the NHL, he'll probably get beat up. I know last night he was going pretty good till late in the game. Jonathan Taves gave him a couple of lessons and, get in line. Jonathan Taves has schooled a few guys over the years. But my point is, my point is this. I think there's a job for Philp as a 4th-line center, because they need someone to take draws, particularly on the PK. We were talking, you and me, in the press box about how, like, every Oilers face-off starts in that, looking at it from the offensive team. Drysdale skates to that left circle. He's a lefty. That's where he wants to draw. And his percentage in power play draws is exceptionally high. Most teams, not every team, most teams, power play centerman is a lefty. They all start on that side. You need a righty killing penalties to win that draw once in a while. And the Oilers don't have one right now. Philp might be that guy.
Yeah, well, that you want competition. And, with Zach Hyman out, it's going to open up a spot on the roster for someone, because we knew that Hyman was a lock, stone cold. So there's a spot on the roster, and then there's a different spot in the lineup, right? It's kind of two different things. Just, I'm not saying Philp's replacing Hyman, obviously, right? But somebody has to move up, and then, it's trickle up effect, shall we say, in this regard. And so Noah Philp, you know what? There's lots of guys at Edmonton that you're kind of hoping for and looking to see, if they can do it. And Philp would be one. Ike Howard has gotten better, which I think is a good sign. Sometimes players start well in the preseason, Spec, in the early games, and then when it gets more NHL players, not as noticeable. So, and that's what we'll see. Like, starting probably not until maybe the Vancouver game is when you start to get down to, almost like 13 veterans per team, right? Then maybe the next week it's up to 15 or 16 in some of those games. And I know they're still not regular season games, but they're a lot closer, and they're a little crisper. There's not as many mistakes, and it's just a little bit harder to make plays.
Oh yeah, there's all of the levels. There's the first couple games are rookie games. The rest of the preseason gets harder and harder. Then we start the season, and there's a level, Jason, when the season starts. That's a step up. Game 1 on October 9 or whatever it is, 8.
Yeah.
And then I've watched it every year, man. Somewhere between November 15th, and November 30th, that's to me the next level where the lines are getting some chemistry. Everybody's dialed into a season. We're all got our timing here. There's another jump there. So we've watched all kinds of guys. I always forget his name. Who's that cat from Ty Ratty? Scored all those goals, early. Then it got hard and he stopped scoring goals. So good, pass the test now, but don't think there's another test coming, because there's every month in this league there's another test coming.
100% there is, and so they'll have to get better. Trent Frederick, I think Speck, we're probably going to see him in both of Hyman's roles tonight, 5-on-5 with McDavid and Drysdale, and I'm assuming as the net front presence on the power play.
Let's see if Trent Frederick can take a step in his career here. This is a big spot for him. This is a big opportunity. He has, to this point, and I'm not limiting him, to this point, Jason, he's been at best a middle six right winger. He's a really good third liner. He's an okay second liner. That's what he's been. Now he can take a step here because he's in a position where they're not expecting a ton of offense out of him with those guys. He doesn't have to drive that line. He gets a puck, he gives it to 29 or 97, and he goes to the net. So let's see where it goes for him. Maybe he can take a step and turn 18 goals into, if it works for him, like 25. Maybe he can do it, but he hasn't done it yet. So we're all going to kind of wait and watch from afar.
Mark Spector joins us. Spec, it's just watching. Not a great start for the Jays. They're down 3-0 in the first.
Scherzer's getting shelled in the first inning here. He's been good this year, but his first innings haven't been any good. And he's back at it again tonight. 1 out, 3 in, and a man on first.
Yeah, so not ideal start. And they're going up against like the ace of the Boston staff. Who does he have the most strikeouts in MLB this year? If not, he's got to be like second or third. So that'll be
right up there.
That is going to be tough. But like obviously the preseason's on Spec, but this week of baseball, man, it is. There's lots going on. The Jays, they're trying to fend off the Yankees. So far, it's not going great. You got Detroit fighting for their playoff lives, right? And with Cleveland, who's unreal right now, and even Houston. Then you throw in there's a 3-way race for the wild card spot in the NL. Like this is, if you're a baseball guy, man, this is an unreal final week. Like I'm trying to think if I've seen this many close races in the final 5 games of the season in quite some time.
Well, and the hunters turn into the hunted. Like Cleveland, they hunted down Detroit, man, and they're in the process of passing them by. The Jays have had a handy 5-4 3-game lead for a couple of months here. All of a sudden, the Yankees are 1 behind them, and the Boston Red Sox here still have a sniff. And these games mean a ton to Boston, and they're out here right now. They're looking to win a series, so it's not over. Like, it's amazing that you play 162 games. And here we are with 5 left, and it's still a giant toss-up, right?
Yeah. No, that's very crazy about Major League Baseball, no question. When you look at the order, Spec, the Ryan Nugent-Hopkins looks like he's going to start as the second line center, and obviously Podkolzin now maybe that's up in the air because of his father. The regular season is 2 weeks away. Maybe he'll be back by then. Who knows? We'll see. But who do you think will be the second line wingers for Nugent-Hopkins?
Well, Mangiapane for sure. Like I feel like there's, I feel like when you got, let me look at it this way, Jay. You can help me figure this out. I feel like when you're the Oilers, you got 2 top 6 centermen, obviously, in McDavid and Drysdale. You got a top 6 winger in Hyman. You got a top. I think we'll call Mangiapane a legitimate top 6 winger. I think he is. I think it's fair to say that. So you got 2 top 6 right wingers, let's say. So now who's going to be your left wingers on the, let's say that Drysdale and McDavid are apart just for fun. Who's your left wingers? Is Nugent-Hopkins a legitimate top 6 left winger? Doesn't score much at even strength. I'm not sure. And then who's the next one? It's Podkolzin, and his numbers would say to you that he is not a top 6 left winger, right? So who's that guy? Who's the You know, who's the last top 6 player they put in there? Is it Frederick? I don't know. Is it Podkolzin? Maybe. You know, it's a good question, right? Someone's got to turn into a top 6 player that hasn't been one in the past, and I'm not exactly sure who it's going to be.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be like an ongoing audition that they'll have multiple different guys seeing if it works at different times. Yeah. I do think like when Drysaddle's there, Podkolzin I think is his left winger spec. I think Drysaddle's made it abundantly clear he really likes how he plays.
He likes
he might not get just the point totals, but he does so many other things to allow Drysdale to get the point totals. And so
that works. That works.
Yeah. So
well, I mean, but listen, everyone out there listening here, whoever your favorite team is, if it's not Edmonton, go through the guys that your team puts on the ice for the top 2 lines, and then think about how many of those guys are legit on any team in the league, top 6 players. Like nobody has 6, right? Nobody gets 6 guys that are legit everyday top 6, like Zach Hyman. Zach Hyman's a top 6 player on any team in the league.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get 6 guys. You get the bad teams have 2 or 3. The good teams have 4 or 5. No one has 6. You're always got a guy in that top 6 that's, let's say, Podkolzin. His numbers aren't top 6, but he does a certain thing that you really like. I don't mind Podkolzin playing with Drysdale. Hell, Drysdale was the only 50-goal, 100-point man in hockey last year. Podkolzin had something to do with that.
Yeah. Oh, 100% he did. Right. And you listen to Drysdale. Drysdale thinks he had a big part of it. So I think it should be interesting to watch that. Definitely will have an eye on the out-of-town scoreboard, watching baseball games all over the place, as well as the preseason game. And we'll get into the Elks game tomorrow. They got obviously there was the big news in the CFL this week, and I see that there was the original frustration. You're seeing lots of other players and managers saying, "Hey, you know what? I actually like these moves." So which I think I understand. You're going to have different opinions on it, and that's okay. Obviously, the proof will be in the pudding. But I think part of this will be on when it comes to punting, it will be on the coaches, and that's why when I put my tweet out about getting rid of the rouge and stuff like that. And I said, hey, I'd make it mandatory that you got to gamble twice, because sadly, football coaches right now in the CFL are naturally conservative, right? Like we saw Derek Taylor. He showed the odds on 3rd and 2 spec, 3rd and 2 on a wide field, a yard off the ball. Teams barely gamble, like 30% of the time.
But 30% on 3rd and 2?
Yeah, but they have it. But they have a success rate of 70 or 69%, 68%, 68.
Okay. Call it 70.
Yeah, so it's pretty good, right? To get 2 yards. So maybe do it more often. And with the longer field goal attempts, it's going to have to be something that's in their mind rather than try to have short punts that, just to pin guys deep. That doesn't make any sense.
I feel like, you know what? Call me a guy that doesn't know anything about football if you want. I feel like an offensive coordinator should have a 2 or 3 yard play that he doesn't use the whole game until, like the other night in Hamilton, when it's 3rd and 1.5 at a really crucial moment, right? There should be a play that you work on in practice that everybody knows works, where the quarterback has an option or 2 options, whatever. I'm just saying, when I see coaches, when it's 3rd and 2, going over their playbook, trying to devise a play, I always think you should have a play ready for this moment. Shouldn't you, Jason? Maybe that's why they don't gamble. Maybe not enough of them have a play ready for that moment.
Yeah. No. Well, it's true. And I do think at times they're still a little too conservative for my liking. So,
oh my goodness, for sure. And before I let you go, the other game this weekend, I know we got Ryder Cup. That Women's World Cup final between Canada and England is on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, buddy. Yeah, we're hoping to have Geoff Baker on the show, I think maybe tomorrow or Friday. So
go to your local rugby club, get a pint in your hand, cheer on the Canadian girls. They're doing something that no Canadian rugby team's ever done before.
Yeah, well, they're into the fight and well-deserving of it, right?
They're killing all the good teams, for sure.
So, they're not just winning. They're winning pretty handily. So that will – you know what time that match is at?
I don't know what time it's at. I think it's like around noon because it's a night game. They're playing at Twickenham. They're in England, playing against England, so they're the ultimate visitor in the final game of the World Cup. and they are completely the underdog and the visitor and the crowd, not cheering for them.
Yeah.
So they got them right where they want them, man.
Connor tells me 9 a.m. is
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Spec.
All
Wouldn't be
right,
the first time a rugby club house had a pint at 9 a.m.
Oh, are you kidding? Not even close. That's getting kind of late.
Yeah. There you go. Beck, have a good one. We'll chat with you tomorrow.
All right.
There you go. That's the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. Quick break. We'll return. It's a Jason Gregor Show. We'll hear from Trent Frederick. Expectations, baby. Or, hello, opportunity knocks. Will he answer? We'll find out next. Presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Find incredible savings on everything you need for your home at The Brick. Save up to $800 on sofas and up to $1,000 off select major appliances when you buy 2 or more. Whether you're furnishing a new space or refreshing your current one, The Brick has designs to fit any style and budget, all backed by their exceptional service. Visit one of their 4 locations in Edmonton, downtown, South Common, West Edmonton Mall, or 137th on the north side. See in-store for details and exclusions. The Brick, saving you more.
No fluff, no fillers, just pure entertainment. Sports 1440 brings the heat with bold opinions, big personalities, and Edmonton's fiercest fans. This is your turn. This is Edmonton's sports leader, Sports 1440.
Yeah, can I get yes. A common reaction from a veggie lover. Always scanning, searching, longing. But wait, what is this we see? The new McVeggie, now at McDonald's.
Another season is upon us. The smell of locker rooms, hockey bags, pumpkin spice lattes, and burnt oil.
Don't let your vehicle get benched this season. Swing by Napa Auto Parts for top quality oils, parts, tools, and everything you need to keep your ride in winning shape for the games ahead. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
What's better than a family reunion? Getting the family discount. At Nisku Ford, you're not just a customer, you're part of the family. And we believe our family deserves the very best.
Our legendary employee pricing has been held over into September. So if you just got back from summer vacation, you can still get the Ford you want with exclusive deals reserved for our closest kin.
The coffee's on. Drive into Nisku Ford or visit niskuford.ca today. Above expectations.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat the tariffs? Buy Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at cantork.com.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Benny, the Jets not in town tonight. It's Jordan and the Kraken. Former Edmonton owner Jordan Eberle, the captain of the Kraken, brings his team to Edmonton tonight in preseason action. Oilers won pretty much a different roster in Winnipeg last night, 3-2. Meanwhile, the Kraken lost 4-1 in Calgary, also with a different lineup than what you will see tonight. If you missed it, Vasily Podkolzin will be taking a short time away as he returns to Russia to be with his family. His father tragically and suddenly passed away last night. So thoughts from everybody. I know anybody's lost a father, anybody's a fan. Obviously, Vasily's 24. He's got a really young brother who's, I think, 15, 16. So that's going to be a real hard time for their family. So hopefully he takes all the time he needs to get into a comfortable space. Again, it's very unfortunate and pretty devastating for a young family to lose their father. Like, think about what a range of emotions for Vasily Podkolzin goes from, signing a 3-year contract extension, well earned, and for just almost $9 million total. That's life altering money for him, and I'm sure his father would have been proud of his punch. And then has a very short time to celebrate that with them, which is disappointing for sure. Other news going on: the Jays not great as they trail 3-0 in the first inning tonight, and they need to win. The Guardians and the Tigers no score. The Yankees and the White Sox also no score. So those are the games that really impact the Blue Jays, mainly the Yankees, because of course they are one game back of Toronto for first. Now Seattle is a few games back of them for first in the entire AL, which is still important. But you look at they're what Seattle is 2 games. So yeah, the Jays gotta just win. Win 3 games here, and then you really put the pressure on the Yankees. If the Jays can win 3 games, the Yankees, I think, have to go 5-0. So that's still, like, I know it sucked to lose last night, but find a way to win 3 of their final 5 games. It's not a crazy amount for them. If you do that, then the Yankees got to go 5-0, which is possible, of course, when you look at their quality of competition. They're playing the White Sox and then the Orioles. So see how it goes. Let's get to Trent Frederick. Actually, no, before we do that, would you like to go to the Oiler game tonight? We got 2 different sets of tickets. So got my own, and then Cons, who was it? Spicy Guy sent us a pair?
Spice Guy Bry.
Spice Guy Bry. Attaboy, Bry. So you want to go to the game tonight? Text in 833-401-1440 that you can 100% go. Not that, we say you've won and then you got to check. No, because we don't have time for that. So make sure before you text in that you can go tonight. Maybe you got a date. Maybe you want to take your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, your kids, somebody. If you can go, just text in preseason excitement. Preseason excitement. With your name and your email. Preseason excitement is the code. Then put in your name and your email, and the con man will pick 2 lucky winners to go enjoy the game tonight. McDavid, Drysdale, Frederick are aligned. Tomasic's playing with Mangiapane and Yarventi. You've got Lazar and Janmark also going in this game. Young Clattenburg, who has made an impression in every game he's played. You got Ekholm. You have Bouchard. Also, Lepinen. Many of you will be intrigued to want to go watch him play. Stuart Skinner will make his preseason debut tonight. So there's lots of reasons for an Oiler fan. Just, hey, you want a good night out? Maybe you don't get to go to many games. Well, here's your chance. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Hey, guys, stats suggest an average second liner in the NHL averages 50 points. I think Nuge centering Hyman and Mangiapane is very good second line. Plus, we are getting Sid at the deadline. Dare to dream from Team Dean. Now, you know what, Dean? I don't know. I think 50 points might be too high for a second line player. I'm going to go back and look at forwards last year. How many forwards in the NHL had 50 points? I think it was, because you think about it, there's 117. So now that's 32 is 96. That's not even 4 players per team who had 50 points last year. I think if we look at it, we got to go to times 6. So we're talking like 192 players. Right? So let's look amongst the forwards. 192 scores. 36 points. Now, there's some guys who get injured and they miss games, so that's a factor for sure. So you might have to go by points per game a little bit. If I go, how many players played at least half of the season last year amongst forwards, that is, and then averaged, well, I'll get to it. If you average a half a point a game, then you're going to be at 40 points. And these are guys who played at least 50. So if you get to half a point a game now, it's even then 50 points per game. That's 184 players who are forwards who averaged half a point a game playing at least 50 games. Still not fulfilling the full 96. So that's basically, kind of an average of 41 points. So yeah, it's not even 50. I think sometimes, you're like, geez, we need way more scoring. Like there's so much. And then I probably should look at out of those players, how many of them, were spread out. Like some teams might have had 2, some teams might have had 7 potentially. Right? Like if I look at the Oilers last season, how many Oilers forwards averaged? They had 4. Drysdale, McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, and Hyman. That's it. To average half a point a game as a forward. Let's look at the Florida Panthers had 6. Obviously, they added Brad Marchand, which helps. So, yeah, the Oilers, I'll still say I think they need another scoring winger. I do agree with you that Nugent Hopkins, Mangiapane, Hyman as a second line could be a fine second line. I actually agree with you on that, Team Dean. No question. So there you go. Hey, Gregor, I went with what AI told me, 0.61 points per game. Well, just remember, AI isn't as accurate as people think. So you're always better sometimes to double check it yourself. Because AI, what they're going off of, just flat out isn't true based on last year. So, and I'm sure if I went to the year before, it probably wouldn't be much different. We got a lot of texts coming in. I love it. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, fellas, do you think there's anybody that we didn't think would make the team that could make the team? Well, in goal, no, right now. I guess the out to that would be maybe they claim someone on waivers. That would be the big wild card. On defense, I think the 7 are locked in. It's just a matter of who's going to start at number 6. I think Stetcher and Emerson are your 6 and 7 defensemen, and then Kulak, Nurse, Ekholm, Bouchard, Wallman are your top 5. Up front, David Drysdale, Frederick, they're all in. Nugent Hopkins, Mangiapane. Arian Tomasek, I thought was on the team. Podkolzin, Matthias Janmark. Who am I missing? Adam Henrique, Kasperi Kapanen. I think those guys are all on your team. Matt Savoy, I thought had a pretty good chance. I just look at Savoy's usage in games, playing on the third line. He's on the penalty kill. I think that's probably a good indication of where he's going to start. So Ike Howard, I thought had a chance. I didn't list him as like a lock, but I definitely thought he had a chance. Noah Philp had a chance. So if either one of those guys makes, I wouldn't be surprised. But so is Yarventi going to make the team? I don't think so. Even Jones probably would be a bit of a surprise for me to make it. You never know. I guess it depends on numbers and what they want to do. He obviously would need to clear waivers, and I'm not saying he wouldn't. I'm just saying he needs to clear waivers. I don't see Clattenburg has really gotten noticed. Awesome. But I don't think he's ready for the NHL yet. His attitude is, but he'll probably have to get a little bit faster, a little bit stronger and work from there. But I'll just say, you watch Clattenburg tonight, if you're going to the game or if you're watching it, that guy, the one thing you never have to question is his desire. And he's very aware of who he is, Connor Halley, as a player, and knows what he needs to do. And I think that is something that is very important for a player, especially at the pro level. When you're a young player, you shouldn't pigeonhole yourself. Oh, I can't score. No. Keep working on it. You want to be able to score, no question. But as you get older, you look and say, you know what? Like, I might just not have top line NHL skill. Probably don't have second line NHL skill. And that doesn't mean I don't have skill. I just don't have elite skill. But what can I do? I can work hard. I can be aggressive. I can be a little bit of an annoyance. Kill penalties. That's what he's doing. So
you love to see that awareness in a player too, right? Like knowing, okay, hey, this is the environment I'm going to be in. I'm not going to play in the top 6 in all likelihood. The Oilers are pretty loaded in that area. But what can I do? Well, I'm big, I'm physical, I can do that. And maybe I'm not going to get all those opportunities to showcase the skills that I've shown at other levels. But in this particular game, this is what I can do to show up and let myself be known. And, not just the coaching staff, the management, everyone's watching, the fans, heck, even other teams are going to be watching. So yeah, I like that awareness from a player knowing what they have to do.
Let's take our final break, come back, wrap things up. It's the Jason Gregor Show, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies. With state-of-the-art motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation. Our seatbelt-equipped buses have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, call 1-877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
Looking for an all-season vehicle with room for the hockey gear, comfort for the daily commute, and rugged capability for your weekend adventures? That's the all-new 2025 Jeep Compass, and you'll find it during the biggest sale of the year this month at St. Albert Dodge. Now, what can I say? It's a Jeep, it's a 4x4, and it's loaded with standard features like an 8.4-inch touchscreen, keyless entry, and heated front seats, all starting from just $34,900. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, Common thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, till the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a new from Legacy! Oh yeah! Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling. Noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, nood, noodle, noodle, nood. Noodle, noodle, nood, 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 noodle, noodle, nood. Trouble low down to Oodle Noodle tonight because dine-in is open.
Shop the Fall Big Red Sale at Canadian Tire and save up to 50% on select seasonal must-haves until September 25th. Conditions and exclusions apply.
Stop juggling lowest bid contractors, because at Wetaskiwin Ready Mix, one call does it all. From concrete supply to cribbing and pumping, we've got your project covered. Locally owned and operated, Wetaskiwin Ready Mix is proud to deliver on spec and on time every time, because we know quality concrete isn't cheap, and cheap concrete isn't quality. Send Wetaskiwin Ready Mix your blueprint. We'll handle the rest. Wetaskiwin Ready Mix, 780-352-4301.
Score an A+ deal on 5G Ultra Home Internet from Explore. Switch to incredible internet speeds and get a $100 gift card for a limited time. Upgrade today at explore.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by EWELL. Get your power play amped up with EWELL, supplying the city of champions in Alberta with quality electrical gear since 1975. EWELL.ca is your partner in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.545, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. We're having an awesome day. Con man, he always puts the Rolodex going, not the Rolodex, but puts in his wheel of luck, spins it, and who became the winners today to go to the Oilers game tonight?
Today's winners are Tom, who I believe is going to take his 10-year-old daughter, and Richard. So
Tom and Richard. All right.
Now, what do we always say? You know, you take your 10-year-old daughter, you got to buy her popcorn.
Well, yeah,
That's
you
the
pay
rule.
for the tickets. It's kind of a no-brainer at that point. Right? The 10-year-old's got to milk that a little bit for sure. I would see it. Why not? So it's nice. A few other, hey guys, what do you think the Elks' chances of making the playoffs? I know there's lots to talk about the CFL, and it's great, and the Elks are probably happy because it's kind of deflected from their inability to win games. Do you think they can get in? Oh, it's really tough, man. You are right. Their inability here lately was not ideal. There's no doubt in my mind that it was not a good two. Like, man, for how much of those two games did the Elks play really well, and then just for a short period of time, basically throw the game away. That's the problem. Now, I shouldn't say threw the game away because it wasn't interceptions that cost them. It was a lack of execution, a lack of catching the ball. Yikes. So if you look at now, Caleros is back for Hamilton. So that's big news. It looks like he's going to play on Saturday. The good news for the Elks is if you have any doubt before you start, okay, you know, whatever. And I know they'll be focusing on the game, but they could get like a boost of energy at 1 o'clock, at 4 o'clock, an hour before the game, when they watch and somebody comes in, hey, Winnipeg just lost. All right, well, now you win the game against Saskatchewan and you're one game back of Winnipeg, and you host Winnipeg after the bye week. So I would say this, yes, if Winnipeg loses, the Elks have to win, and then they're in it, because then you could win again, and now you're tied, and you each have 2 games left. Now, Edmonton obviously has a tough schedule because they would take on BC and Calgary after that, which is far from easy at all. Like both the Elks and the Bombers have the bye at the same time, and then Edmonton plays BC, Winnipeg plays Saskatchewan, so pretty even, except Saskatchewan is home, and then Hamilton has Montreal. Winnipeg has Montreal, and Edmonton hosts Calgary. So, yeah, you know what? If they have a chance, I don't think it's a huge chance, Connor Halley, but it is a chance. And it really comes down, you got to beat Saskatchewan. Like, even if Winnipeg loses and you don't beat Saskatchewan, I know mathematically you're not out, but I would say you're out.
Yeah, and I mean, this is going to be a real frustrating, I think, end of the season for the Elks. You know, the 2 games against Hamilton, the game against Toronto, where it's like, we're so close. Probably should have won minimum 2 or 3 of those games right there, and you'd be putting yourself in such a better position. But you never say never, especially in the CFL. Crazy things can happen, but I feel like my prediction of from the preseason crossover playoff spot kind of dwindling away here.
Yeah, so you're still there. Anything can happen, which is good news, but they got to get going, and you have to execute better at the key time in the game. I think that's the key. Like, if you look back, like, Hilaire, how he dropped that ball. I rewatched the game again, and as a receiver, how many times have you been hit in the back after catching the ball? Like, I don't know the answer specifically, but you can't, like, this is not a play where he was outstretched arms and he was reaching over. Like, the ball's thrown literally 7 yards right to him. It's inexcusable that he didn't hold on to that ball.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And like, I, played a little receiver in my time. I feel like I can be a little bit harder on the players that play that position. There's times where, over the shoulder, out on the fingertips, tough to grab. Maybe you take a hit going across the middle, but he sat in the zone. Like, he has to find a way to hang on to that football. And I know Michael Irvin talks about it. Like, there's certain situations, even though, people say don't use your body to catch a football, there's sometimes where you just bring it into the body and squeeze it. And that was probably one of those situations where maybe it would have helped.
Yes. Very, very true. And it just, like, God, you look at both of the games against Hamilton, your receiver had the winning touchdown in their hands in the end zone. and dropped it both times. Like, you had the game. Catch the ball, and I think you win the game. And then you're 7-7. And you're right. You're tied with BC and Winnipeg. And so you're right in the position to get a crossover or finish third. Now, third place in the West. I guess it's still mathematical if you beat Winnipeg and you beat BC, but there's a lot of ifs going on there now, right? Like, you're in the point of if, rather than we do this, it doesn't matter what the other guys do. And that's the challenge, I think, for the Elks down the stretch. Once again, if you're just joining us, and because we get texts all the time about the lineup, it is not on TV. You can watch it on Oilers Plus. Or if you have the NHL Network package, it's on there on television. So it is technically on TV, just not on Sportsnet. Sunday's game and next Friday's game are on TV. Anytime the Oilers play the Canucks in the preseason, because part of Vancouver's TV, part of their contract on TV is to include all of their preseason games. McDavid will play with Drysdale and Frederick, Tomasic with Mangiapane and Yarventi, Lazar with Hudson and Janmark, Szymanski with Clattenburg and Hamlin, Ekholm, Bouchard, Lepin and Regula, Millman and Akey. Stuart Skinner will start in goal. Meanwhile, the Kraken, they're going to go with arguably two of their top two lines, although I think they kind of have three lines and don't really have a number one line. But Beniers with Kako and Neiman, right between Eberle and Schwartz. Then you got some young guys, Molgard with Hayden and Sale, Morrison with Furcus, the Furcus Circus from Irma, Alberta. He'll have some people in the crowd tonight. And Myers, then Alexiak, Josh Mahura also probably have some buddies, family members in the town for the exhibition game tonight from St. Albert. Olofsson and Fleury, Jugnoth and Nelson, and then Decord will play. Not sure if he's going to play the whole game or if Coco will get some time in between the pipes. So that's the lineup for both the Oilers and the Canucks. Hey, guys, I have season Elks tickets. If anyone has given up preseason Friday Oilers ticket, I would trade Saturday against the Riders from Cameron. There you go. Well, hey, put it out there, Cam. You never know. You never know. I'm looking at the Elk. Hey, Gregor, I see some people saying they're going to cancel tickets because of the rule changes. Is this the new thing now that people make claims? Do you ever know if someone actually canceled their tickets? Wow. The people who say they're canceling their tickets, I'm definitely not following it. I guess, well, I don't know. Legally, I don't think the Elks are going to tell me who their season tickets are and who the person was individually who canceled them. But I don't know. I don't get it.
You're talking to some salespeople in the past. I think the people who actually claim to do it and actually then do it, I think it's exaggerated.
100%. 100%. Hey, Gregor, any idea why the Canucks and Jets regional broadcasts include preseason and the Oilers and the Flames don't? From Sean. It's a good question, Sean. Well, I think the Jets are probably pretty easy because it's TSN wants to give them as much coverage because they're not the national guy. So that's probably one. Vancouver, they just put it in there. And, it's a bigger market of people. I still don't believe the viewer number. Like, I'd have to ask if the viewer numberships are that much more. I'd be skeptical, but that's probably why. On behalf of Halley, Declan Kruger, I'm Jason Gregor. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for watching the show. Man, we see our numbers up again high here on X and YouTube today. So thanks so much for watching and all of you for listening. Please get home safe. Enjoy the baseball. Enjoy the hockey. We'll have coverage and recapping all of that. Also, tomorrow, Stampede Wrestling fans, do not miss the first hour of the show. You're going to love it. Let's get to the Con Man Sports 1440 update brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling Home with no payments, no interest for 1 year on your furnace. LegacyHeating.ca. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day, the Edmonton Oilers in action tonight, taking on the Kraken. Puck drop 7 o'clock down at Rogers Place. Around the NHL right now, Hurricanes to the Panthers 2-0 after 20, and after also in the first intermission, the Jackets playing inside at one apiece. Later tonight, Ducks host the Canes, and the Flames head to Vancouver. Major League Baseball, Blue Jays in action right now. They trail the Boston Red Sox 3-0 in the bottom of the third. Some news from the team: they signed Korean 18-year-old righty Moon Seung-jun who turned down offers from the Dodgers and the Mets to sign with Toronto. He was expected to be a top 3 pick in this month's draft. Elsewhere around the majors, Rays up on the Orioles 3-0. Tigers have 1-0 lead over the Guardians in the third. Reds at home trail the Pirates 1-0, and the Phillies lead the Marlins 3-1. Later tonight, Rangers host the Twins, Mets in Chicago for a battle with the Cubs, Dodgers in Phoenix, Giants host the Cards, and the Astros taking on the Athletics. That'll do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next, Fox Sports Radio all night long. Live coverage resumes tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. with Carrie. It's here on Sports 1440 and streaming on Sports 1440 AM on YouTube. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station, broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.